420 who's going to annoy us in 5 seconds. It would never annoy us. He's going to call in, pretend he's somebody else, and then he's going to be him. We know your game. We know the whole game he tries to play. But he's also going to call us a little bit more serious this time because I think when he came here, he got really... You know what happens is when people come to cups that are not even the well organized. I would never call my thing well organized. I call my thing like we know the problems, we kind of alleviated it, but we're also definitely winging everything last minute, throwing it together as we do. But anytime somebody comes to one of those events, there's always somebody who's like, dude, that's it. This is what I want to do. This is my life. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. Because what happens is you get this classic, just really cool, like it should be like this vibe all the time thing when you're like hanging out with a bunch of people and you're all getting high and no one's having it, you know, finally everything's there. It's not like, you know how it is with your friends sometimes, like just to have a fucking rig and a fucking dabber and butane is already like, whoa, we got it all together at once. We have to, it's a trifecta, we must do this now. You know what I mean? It's like almost like it forces you to do it. But when you have like an organized stoner party where they have food and, you know, things are covered and everybody there, what I liked about the event most, and then what I noticed and what I had said during the event was that everybody was fucking like on point. There was no like hacking in the corner, you know, like don't know how to smoke kind of vibe. It was like, I don't think I heard anybody cough, which was cool. Like, there was like no coughing. I was like, huh. And usually at weed events, it's just like, you know, you feel like you're going to have tuberculosis by the time you get out of there. Right. This time, I didn't really see too much of that. It seemed like everybody was just doing their job, which is pretty awesome.
Venue ruled too. I mean, that place was super cool.
Yes, the Cliff House, which I was amazed that a lot of people that were there from locals, especially like people like you who are like, well, you tapped in. I would have thought at a certain point that like, oh, you guys had to have come here because it's so close to Red Rocks, and you know it's always been a very cool spot. And just I've been there for like 5 years, 6 years, more, maybe 8 years. When I first came here, it was already rolling. But it's a gem. You know, it's one of those little diamond in the rough places because you know. What we laughed about is just like anybody who goes there who's not a stoner and not really into partying is all like, what the fuck is going on?
Why are there crystals everywhere?
Because everybody who's in there is like, it's another planet basically. It reminded me of a place called the Elf in Amsterdam that was like an old Belgian embassy that all these people squatted and lived in. So it was like a really cool space, and every floor was madness, you know, in a sense, because it was just like, whoa, there's a guy making acid down in the basement. There's a guy blowing glass on the next floor, and then you go to the next floor, like a techno party, you know, just like 7 floors of craziness. And it's not quite that intense. It's a total Colorado version, but it is the same vibe because the people that roll through are just like, whoa, everyone's spun out, which is, you know.
And they have hot tubs.
So, you know, it was like one of those places where we definitely could deal with them and they could definitely deal with us, and that's important. It's very hard to find a venue where you can smoke, which was proven last week or 2 weeks ago at 420 with the Connoisseur Cup, which we helped. You know, we joined forces and we got in and out like smooth as silk. I think I announced your thing, put the mic down. 5 minutes later, that alarm went off, and it was pretty much like, oh, you know, that's as we know, party killer, right? So, fire department came. Left, let everybody back in. Party started going, and then we went to dinner, so we weren't even in the building when it went down. We actually cleaned up, went next door, we're eating dinner, and then we got a call like, dude, cops are back. And so what happened was they, which I think you can go on YouTube and look it up because they posted the video because they're very proud of it. They did a 40-gram dab, one guy, like literally just huffed through 40 grams, you know, obviously not holding one hit, but, you know, did the classic huffing through it, and he did it, but it was like, we set the alarm off with fucking a couple joints. All right, take a guess who this is.
Sky?
Yo. Welcome to the Adam Dunn Show. Who do we got? Is it 420? It has to be.
Hey.
No?
This is Arend, Richard.
Oh, it's not Darren. Oh, great. How you doing, Arend?
I'm doing really well. How are you guys?
We're good. We're chilling out.
Nice day.
Post 420, still, even though we were in the next month, you know, it takes a while to get back down. So how are you doing?
Doing really, really well. Just been working on getting some new site updates out today.
Nice. And so tell us a little bit about what you're up to, because we have a packed show. So all of a sudden I was like, man, we got guests coming in from every direction today. So
yeah, no problem. I can be brief and quick.
Oh, it doesn't have to be too quick. We can talk for as long as we want, but yeah, just fill us in with what you're doing, because I think actually you got two people right here sitting on the show who are going to be might be your next people. So give us a heads up what you're up to.
Oh, excellent. Well, welcome you too. Can't wait to have you on the site. Yeah, so my name's Arend. I am the co-founder and current CEO of the WeedTube.com, a new video content platform site that is safe for legal cannabis users to upload their video content onto, since YouTube decided to delete everyone.
Right. And that's amazing that you're on, because my friend over here was crushing it for a while with his School of Hard Nugs, and I didn't even know until the night of 420 when I was announcing and giving him all sorts of props, and he's like, but he just took me down. I was like, oh shit.
It'll be fine. But we also 67,000 person or subscriber channels. Dude.
Yeah. So
wow, you were at 67,000. Wow.
Yeah, and like
it was a blow.
More important than that, it was like 3 years of hard work of putting all these videos up. You know, I was like, it sucks.
Oh, listen, you don't have to tell me. I get that. I got deleted. I knew that my deletion was coming. I thought I had about a week before they were going to get to me. So I actually made a video on my YouTube channel saying I was leaving YouTube, and these are my reasons why. Just trying to get one last little push for my followers to understand what was going on. And so that video was up for about 12 hours. I got 30,000 views on it, and then right at 1 a.m. they deleted my channel.
So you got to be like me, you got to be like me and have nobody listening half the time. So then they're like, don't have to worry about deleting that guy. He's not even. So my numbers have never really been as high as those. You guys are always like crushing it on the viewership. I'm like, I feel like my crowd is a little more selective.
You're pretty consistent.
Consistent, yeah. Ours don't leave us. That's the one good thing. They kind of hang around.
Hey, you know what? I'll take consistency over numbers, you know?
Yeah, and that's how I feel too. I'm also like when I look, not that I would ever think that he would be padding his numbers, but when it's like half your people are in Indonesia, you're like, right. So how many you got like all these followers in Indonesia? They're like, yeah, like for most of them actually, like 89%. No, but then you know it's all bullshit.
Oh wow.
No, you know it's all bullshit at that point, right? So
totally, exactly.
So how many so is it up and running and everything? WeedTube's like active right now, or is it?
Yeah, so originally the actual site itself was not meant to be what it was supposed to be. We were just trying to create a site so that myself and some of my, WeedTube friends had a safe place to upload like extra content, sort of like a Patreon for cannabis creators. And then we were about 2 months into developing that site once YouTube actually started just getting rid of everybody. And we said, well, hey, we have the bones of this. Why don't we just tweak one or two things here? And we can actually launch a site that's a full hosting video platform, kind of just like YouTube. So we launched our beta on March 1st of this year, and we ran our beta for about a month and a half. We did our most recent update just on 420, and the site is functioning, I would say, 10 times better than it was before. And we just hit our first 2 million page views. We have 170,000 active users on the platform, which kind of blows out of the water like a lot of other cannabis websites out there, and this is completely community based. We haven't put $1 into marketing or anything like that. This is how bad people want a safe space for cannabis.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And what's your top? What is your top like number of people right now? Who's your highest on your particular platform? Yeah, so we actually have. I don't know how this ended up happening. We are so lucky and blessed, and I'm so grateful to the two of them forever. We have Matthias 710 and Koala Puffs, who are two of the biggest names in Instagram cannabis right now, and they exclusively upload their videos onto the WeedTube. Nice. Yeah, I mean it's crazy too, because right now, the fact that they're going to crack down on cannabis people, especially when it's like shows that are not even out to make money. They're just out to just literally spread information, which is basically should be. It's a lot of like with his show. It's all grow. It's literally teaching people how to grow from the ground up, and
right.
And on this show, hardly clandestine information in my opinion. We have sometimes we have a few nuggets here and there that pop up, but for the most part, it's all common knowledge, and it's just us, passing that back and forth. There's no, and then, but what I see is that, like, with his show, it's teaching people how to grow. So other states where it's not legal, there's a way that
we got a disclaimer.
Right, and there's ways that they could, like, justify it in some way, shape, or form. But when it comes to a lot of these shows, it's like they have the most viewers, but the content is not really there anyway. It's just about literally, picking up viewers, I guess.
Dude, they're kicking off people that are just smoking on camera.
Right.
Yeah. You're like, come on.
Which is, and that's their whole angle, is that it's not advertiser friendly. But last time I checked, cable TV and Netflix everywhere have potheads on everywhere. And to an extent, I think to an extent I can understand where YouTube was coming, and that was where I was like 3 months ago. To an extent, I could understand. At first, they were flagging videos that were, like, seriously glorifying smoking weed in, like, the most extreme ways. So I kind of understood it. I was like, okay, we got to, like, change what we're doing here. We can't just be doing, like, 15-gram dabs just for fun. There's got to be some kind of education behind it. So when we were in that stage, it made sense to me what YouTube was doing, and I felt like I was safe, especially with my channel at the time, because my channel, which was called The Gay Stoner, I hit 120,000 subscribers, and all I did was talk about, like, education of cannabis and literally social topics. So I tried to bring some sort of entertainment to it, but I never encouraged the using of weed or anything like that. So I always thought I was kind of in the clear. My real issue with YouTube now is that they're literally blocking out cannabis as anything. Like, they will have nothing left on their website about cannabis or weed whatsoever, and that's a problem because that's not the real world.
Right. Yeah, they're doing the same thing with like guns, hunting, all that. Totally different topic, but they're basically like, hey, we don't want these things on here. They literally hired a bunch of flaggers to go out and flag videos. Like, I think they were just typing in search terms, like cannabis or weed or anything like that, and they're just like flag. Yeah, it was.
And it's like a procession, like Strain Central went first, he got deleted first, and then they kept searching Strain Central, and everybody that ever collabed with him, they got deleted next, and then it's just like, it's been an onslaught. And then after I got deleted, a couple people I've collabed with, they got deleted right after, and it's like I actually was like, I had to tell another friend of mine who I collabed with that isn't in the cannabis industry at all, but is a very popular YouTuber, I had to let him know. I was like, delete the video we made together, because just by being associated with my name, you're going to have a problem. They deleted and restricted my other channel that has nothing to do with cannabis. It's a vlog channel. It's so advertiser friendly. I actually bleeped out any cuss words, and they deleted that channel too because of my name.
Yeah, it's a little bit like the banking situation too, where, like, once you get flagged, they kind of just keep nailing you. It doesn't matter what you come and try to, well, okay, I'll try this, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh no. Once you get into, like, certain systems, you're fucked. And I had that with Chase was the first bank, you know what I mean? And it was like, what? Like, and that was because I was on John Doe radio show. Literally, the guy told me, he's like, were you on the internet once? And I was like, what? Like, yeah, this is when I didn't even have my own show. This is when I was on someone else's show once. So they must have, somehow it popped up, and it was just weird. It was like, I'd been there for 5 years, and was, running 2 business accounts, and my own personal and my wife's personal, and so it was kind of like, wow, okay. And then the reason that they flagged it in the first place wasn't just because of that show, but it was somebody. I was doing an event, and somebody needed to put $1,000 down for a booth at the space, and then they used their credit card, and then when they got checked, someone asked if they bought $1,000 worth of clothes at a clothing store in Denver, because I have a clothing store, and that's where the account came out of at Hoodlum Clothing, And the guy's like, fuck no, you know what I mean? So then all of a sudden he was like, oh shit, that was for that, oh yeah. And then he kind of like, so that just caused the thing. So usually it's like, everything flows in a certain way, and if you just get now, in this situation, there's people flagging you, which is bullshit, because that's always the, like, really, you know what I mean? And you don't even know, you don't know if it's a personal attack or if it's a industry attack, which it seems like it's an industry attack now.
Yeah, I think it's industry for sure. A lot of people were...
Oh, it's definitely industry now.
Yeah, a lot of people were, like, that I was talking to, some of the bigger channels, a lot of the LED guys were basically like, oh, it was this guy. No, it was this guy. He's flagging everybody's channels related to us. And I was like, dude, we're just putting out grow videos. God damn it.
Right.
Yeah, and and I would say it's definitely not like a team of people trying to get rid of weed. It's actually YouTube themselves doing it, because us WeedTubers are so far disconnected. Like there's, I mean, you know, like a lot of us know each other, but there are some people that are so across the spectrum that we're not even connected in any way, shape, or form, and everyone is gone. So it's definitely a whole community-wide assault.
Hold on 1 second. I think we got a call in coming. That connected? Hello there. Is that...
I'm connected.
Yo. What's going down?
What's up, brother?
I'm got a guest on now, just hanging in there. What's happening with you?
Nada. I was just trying to figure out when you wanted me. I just ordered a sandwich. I'm going to eat it. I'm going to watch you guys sit there and smoke that fat doobie.
Yeah, okay.
I remember seeing that dude win with the Jelly Bean 13. Congratulations to that fuzzy dude in the middle.
That's him. Puffhead, we call him. Puffhead, we call him.
Yeah, I think he knew. Cool. I think he knew my bro TKO, or somebody. One of my buddies there knew him, and I don't know. I didn't even get a chance to smoke anything or dude. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing right now. That old lady at the end of the event was the meanest, brutalest little old lady I ever met.
I know.
So anyway,
I'll talk to you.
I'm going to eat my sandwich, and when do you want me to call back? A couple hours or something? Or what?
Oh yeah, like right after the show. How's that?
Perfect. You fucking mother.
All right, call me back in a little bit. Just listen for right after I do my commercials. Unless somebody else jumps on, jump in there. Okay. Which I'm gonna do.
Sounds good, partner.
Thanks, bro. Okay, man.
Yep. Adios.
Take care. That's Mr. 420. I figured he was the first guy to call because he's usually calling me before I've even started the show. So, okay, so
We still got the WeedTube guy?
Yeah, he's still there. You're still there, right?
I'm still here.
Okay. We did not lose it.
Quick question for you, actually. Can you embed your videos on other sites as well?
Yeah, so that's something that that's kind of like a whole thing. So technically, yes, we can. And the way that it's routed right now, we don't have like an ability to, like, if you take a video from our site and embed it in, we wouldn't be able to track that back to the WeedTube. You know, like if they were to click on it, it wouldn't take them to the site. So that's one of the updates that we are going to have with our new site launch, which we're about 56 days out from right now happening. And I really would love to just take a quick second to tell you and your listeners about we're doing a crowdfunding campaign for our next phase here, which is actually going to help us get our app out and help us be able to deliver video content at basically the same speed as YouTube does right now. So that's kind of the push we're going for right now. We've had a lot of people being interested as far as investment goes. But, you know, we have a vision for this site that's community-based because that's how it started. It started with creators. It was created by creators. And we want to keep it in the community because we don't want it to end up in the wrong hands and get taken advantage of. So we are currently raising $30,000 for this app process and the new site. And within 2 days, we're already above $3,500. So
Nice. And so it's you. How many people you got on your team right now? So, I mean, obviously you started it, but you have a...
Yeah, it's about a 6-person team right now with 3 developers and 3 content creators, and then we've got a smaller subset team that's like our legal and accounting team. But we are, you know, we're talking to quite a few creators right now, some of the bigger people who were let go from YouTube, and trying to bring them on as actual partial owners of the site so that, you know, it's even more community-based.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I think the whole idea of just the internet, you can feel it closing down a lot, where it's like all of a sudden, you know, ads just popping up left and right, and things are getting more commercialized. But get used to it, you know what I mean? Kind of like after a while, you're just like, oh yeah, you gotta just deal with it, you know what I mean? And it's like, fuck, that was the whole point of the internet in the beginning, was to not sit in there and fucking have to watch a commercial, especially on the 2-minute video. You're like, really, they're gonna put a commercial in the middle of a 2-minute fucking video? So I think YouTube's gonna lose a lot of people in general, just because if it's going to get restrictive on cannabis and guns and all this, it's going to lose a huge amount of people out of the gate. And, you know, if one person's going to be happy because, I mean, it's just, you know, oh, great, there's no more guns and there's no more weed. Well, you know, there's going to be a whole group of people that are going to be like, well, fuck that, you know, and, you know, whether you like it or not, because, you know, some weed people don't like guns and some gun people don't like weed and some people like both. And, you know, that's just the way it is. but that's the fucking point of the internet. And now it's like, you know, it's funny that the dark web is getting more and more interesting. Like, it's getting more to the point where they're like almost going to push people to the direction of being like, well, fuck it, I'm not going to go on any internet anymore, because like I feel like mine is half my things are corrupted by bullshit now, just because I tried to fucking watch a movie in Russia or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you go through some one site, now I get pop-ups from my McAfee bullshit, and I'm like, oh my god, like infected, you know, all that crap. And I feel like a lot of times, if you can just streamline your platform and make it really user-friendly, that'll obviously be great for stoners, but at the same time, make you feel like you're not, you know, contribute. Like, if it gets too layered with pop-up bullshit, then you know you defeat the purpose.
To that point, I will tell you that we do have advertisements on the WeedTube that play before videos. But the best part about that is they are literally cannabis-related ads. So not only are we getting a voice to all these brands who don't have a place to put their advertising in mainstream, we're also paying our creators for ad revenue, just like YouTube does. And in fact, at a higher percentage split profit than YouTube does as well.
That's what the chat room was actually wondering, if you guys monetize videos on the WeedTube.
Yeah, we sure do. We have just over 10 brands right now that have been advertising with us consistently since we opened. And if there are any other brands listening, please come forward and let us know, because we've got the space for it, and our pricing right now for ads are fantastic. And it's this wonderful thing where this transition has happened in our viewers. Like my personal view, we've had complaints about people saying stuff like, why do you have ads? This isn't YouTube. But 99% of people are like,
hold on one sec. Hold on one sec. We got like the
no problem.
We're like, it's funny because like, the fucking bell has been ringing for a while. Is there really going to be a train? And now there is a train. And where are you based out of? What state?
I'm in Denver, Colorado.
Oh, you're in Denver. Oh, cool. So you could be hanging out with us right now. You should be down here.
We are.
Exactly.
Actually,
exactly. That's what I said when I called the 303 number. I was like, hey, they're probably right down the street.
Yeah, we literally are over on Sims and 8th. I don't know if you're in Lakewood at all, but that's where we're at.
Yeah, I'm in Aurora, so I'm actually far on the other end of the airport.
All right, so at least we saved that part of the trip. Wasn't it like, really? You're just, holy shit, you're right there. No, well, that's cool. So you should definitely come. You should definitely come. Come hang out too.
I just want people to understand, when they come to the site and they're seeing these ads, like 99% of the people that are seeing these ads are so excited that cannabis creators are actually going to be compensated fairly for the views that they're getting, and they can focus on making videos they want instead of having to make videos that appease, sponsors.
Well, and also you have costs, dude. Like, hosting a bunch of videos is not cheap, especially if people are streaming them all over.
Right.
So, I mean, you got to pay for it somehow.
No, yeah. There's no problem about monetizing. It's just about getting it too fucking clusterfucked. Especially, like, the fact that it's weed advertising, of course, that makes tons of sense. But if it was, all of a sudden Kraft fucking Velveeta cheese pops up, and you're like, really? Like, oh yeah. But then you're like,
hey, you know what?
Kind of relevant.
Kraft Velveeta cheese actually wants to advertise with us. I'm down, because that would be a huge contract. But I see what you're saying.
so you're opening Velveeta. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, if it gets too out of whack, where you're like, oh shit. But
right, totally. And we never want that. We always my main thing has been to continuously update our ad system, because it was playing every single time someone would watch a video, and I was like, that's too much. We need to back that off a little bit. You know what I mean?
I think every big money-making thing has always been the thing that somehow you didn't think they made money. You know what I mean? Like Google, when Google first came out, you're like, those guys are never going to make money. And then all of a sudden you're like the biggest company in the world. You're like, and then I remember even like when fucking Netflix first started, and it was like the red box kind of style thing, and you're like, that's a waste of time. And now all of a sudden they're like, running. It's just like
now Blockbuster's gone.
Yeah, so it's just like coming up right now. The key is to figure out something that's obviously software related, or something that's not, something you can stamp out like quickly and cover the planet with, or whatever. But at the same time, it's it's like there's so many things that didn't work, you know what I mean, like MySpace and things like that were that thing at the moment, so hopefully the platform that you develop
YouTube in the future.
Yeah, well, hopefully, exactly. And then probably Facebook really quickly too, because all those things are just exposing the underbelly really lately, where you're like, well, we all knew it, but now you really know it, and now you're like, ugh. It's like it's kind of like,
Yeah, because the problem is these companies think they have everything, and then they start getting greedy and restricting everything, and then which is literally, you could apply that to anything, like all businesses throughout the world. Someone else is going to come along who isn't already making those millions of dollars and say, well, I don't need to make as much as you're making, and I'll do it, and then everybody goes there.
Yeah, and I think the idea of cannabis things should be the opposite of what it is. I mean, really, the fact that they're closing down things is to me like a last ditch effort to be a dick. Basically, is what it comes down to. It's like
yeah, like I want to go talk to YouTube right now and be like, hey, so when cannabis becomes federally legal, which it seems like from all angles we're on a path for.
Sure.
I mean, 10 years would be a very long time, in my opinion, to make that happen, like, very, very long time.
I think it has to happen quicker than that, you know what I mean?
I have people who are so deep in the government that swear it's going to be 2 years, but I don't see how that's possible, but crazier things have happened.
I've heard 2 years. I've actually heard 2 years from more than one person, too, that was pretty well connected, and I was like, really? Wow, you guys have changed.
Yeah, I'm working directly with somebody who's like affiliated with Mitch McConnell, and they say 2 years. So, YouTube, when it's federally legal, are you going to let us all have our channels back or what?
Hopefully,
right?
Well, but none of it. Yeah, but who would want to be? And hopefully, your thing is much stronger, and there's other options. Because that's the thing too. I think a lot of people, get real lazy and just go for the easy. Like we actually were on YouTube to begin with, like trying to use that as our platform, and then we went away from it and tried everything. Went Vimeo and live stream and tried all the different other ones, trying to kind of control our own content and not because of that. That's my main issue. I was always like, yeah, it kind of says right here in the fucking thing that they own your shit, and it's kind of weird. It's kind of a weird way to look at putting your content up, and it's like So I was always a little wary of that, and then. Just like anything, we've all agreed to every contract in the world without reading anything, and it could say anything. And if they had good lawyers, you could probably come and scare the fuck out of enough people to get some money out of them and be like, "You did sign this thing in 2001, and it says that you're firstborn child." You're like, I didn't
there was like a South Park about that, wasn't there?
It was. Definitely. And that's the kind of shit that's real. But it's weird because it's like we are like that. You know what I mean? We're all just like, whatever, agree. And I think that the reason why we got away from it was we tried to monetize, and it didn't work at all. It was like we don't have the numbers to make money. You know what I mean? We were like, okay, so we made 14 cents, and they wouldn't let us have advertising on the show, which was like, that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? So.
Right. And I think that's another reason that YouTube was upset too, because with cannabis creators, some people are getting over 1 million views on these videos, and YouTube doesn't make any money off of that.
Right.
But I think they knew that a lot of YouTubers out there that use cannabis were getting private deals with brands.
Oh, dude, that's
to use
definitely
their
what we
stuff,
should be
and
doing.
YouTube's not getting a piece of it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I know. They get all whiny about other people making deals, and it's like, come on, guys. Because that's the problem. They're just YouTube less than maybe Facebook. Facebook's like, just literally harvesting your info and making money, which is kind of scary and weird. And like, that's why I think they're going to lose a lot of, a lot of their people soon, just because of the fact that younger generations are going to be a lot more savvy to not fall in like, oh yeah, let's just give all our information to them.
Dude, and their parents are on Facebook. They're like, nah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's already not cool, and that's for sure.
Unfortunately, you have to give YouTube credit because while they're making angry half of their community, their main people who they make their most money off, they get the most views, they are doing all that and more to keep those people happy right now. So, they're playing their cards really well, but it's just unfortunate that they won't even say anything. Like people, every single YouTube, Instagram post, Twitter post is flooded with people asking about the cannabis community on YouTube, and they won't say a word.
So they haven't really publicly put out anything saying, just kind of.
No, they have.
Shutting channels down is publicly saying.
I mean, yeah, shutting channels down is a public way of saying it, but they haven't actually put out like a thing saying, you have 48 hours to whatever change your entire content of your show for the rest of your life. Like, wait a minute.
Nope, not at all.
Yeah, that's nuts because. And that's also part of those reasoning behind putting everything on this has always been kind of scary for me. And now it's classic too. When I decided to come back, I'm like, all right, I'll come back. It's easy, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, and this was only a year ago or so, less than a year ago, and so that's why I was like, oh, this would be great to have you on the show because we may be your, like I said, your next guys on the channel.
Yeah, I already have an account. I just haven't uploaded anything because I was like, shit, my videos are gone.
Great. And you know what?
What, you don't have your videos?
I have them.
Yeah.
I will say to you as a future content creator and all the other people listening who might be users of the site, the site, the way that it is now, was built on a shoestring budget and a hope. And the site that is going to be launched in less than 2 months is going to be competitive with YouTube at a very large level. So we just ask that people really stick with us as a community as we're going through these changes for the next 2 months so that we can provide the perfect website and service. But the fact of the matter is, no one else out there is doing this. There were 2 other sites that hosted video content for cannabis users, Weed.tv and WeedTV.com. Both of them sold out to a different company, and now both of their sites redirect to like cannabis entrepreneurship sites. That same company has already contacted us and offered us money to have them redirect to. Huh. And I won't do it. It's not worth letting go of this community-based platform just to cash a check.
Right. So they're not. And what are they doing? Just dumping all that. Like, is it getting into any? Is that getting?
No,
any
those sites don't even exist. They literally delete the site and then redirect it to their own site. And this site is just for
like hemp
seeking funding like for cannabis entrepreneurs.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit right there.
Yeah.
Because I think
because all these other sites did exist and nobody ever went to them, and now we have one that people are going to because the need is there.
Yeah, because I remember WeedTV.com at some point. I remember meeting them, and I mean, it didn't seem like it was a large-scale production by any means. It was just like a woman I met, and she was really excited about putting me on her network thing. And I was like, it was one of those deals where I was just like, I don't know, And I'm always a little nervous about getting kind of pigeonholed with a bunch of weed people too, because it also kind of the fridge, nothing in the fridge. I'm gonna die. It's all right. No, I'm good. So, but no, anyway, now I lost train of thought. Come on, get on there, master. You're the guy. You're the guy who got most affected. So,
well, yeah. So, I don't know, dude. It's whatever. Like, people are still gonna look for the content. You guys put out a nice platform that people can go find it at. So, it's solid.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, here's the thing. YouTube basically shot themselves in the foot because they were the #1 search result for all cannabis-related Google inquiries.
Oh yeah, dude. We got a ton of search traffic.
And now that they've removed all that content, and we're SEOing our site and pricing it lower than all these other cannabis sites, whenever you search how to smoke weed, a video from the WeedTube will be the first result.
Nice.
So it's fine that they threw us all out the window and handed us this entire opportunity on a silver platter.
Right. Yeah, which is again like one of those ignorant things where you're just like, come on, guys, don't you see that? Really just around the corner.
And dude, I'd go watch a weed video, then I'd go watch a bunch of other videos too, where there were actually
big
ads.
Fridge
So.
in
And I'm sure everybody else does,
Their kitchen.
So.
Right, and see, that's the other thing too. I want to let everybody know about the WeedTube is we don't only want weed smoking content. Stoners want other content. I see a picture of the WeedTube in 2 years just being called TWT, and there's just content for people who are, probably like more in that Always Sunny in Philadelphia range of humor. Like everybody's over 18. We all like, it's not like PC picture perfect, but it's like a real world content site. That's what I want eventually.
Sure, and it's funny because there was a lot of when I first got. When I first went on to some of the Tor sites and was looking at some, because I was like, when I got a little Raspberry Pi, so I got one of those, was uploading all these videos, and there were some really, really good channels, and every time I found these guys who were like, these guys know what I like, you know what I mean? They were all just like stoner related, but they weren't nothing about weed really, but they were definitely like, this is for stoners right here. And then of course, like at a certain moment, right when I figured it all out, they've upgraded, and those guys all stopped their channel. If something happened, just like, what? Fuck. It was like the classic where you find your little niche, and then your niche gets completely fucking like jacked, and you're like, fuck. But in general, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's a lot of content out there that is totally up for grabs, and you have to worry about, because that's the other problem when you're running any kind of media thing is, you know, you can imagine how much money YouTube probably spends on lawyers and bullshit all the time. I mean, like, just the amount of monstrosity that company has become. I mean, you know, six guys, you know, 3 coders and 3 other guys are not going to, like, you know, be anything that they should be worried about. But at the same time, luckily we can, in a digital world, you can actually get pretty big in a sense of, you know, we have a lot of content. Our show is 3 hours every week for 5 years, you know what I mean? So there's like a lot of content that's already out there that we can, you know, move over to a easier to find a spot and not have to worry about some bullshit coming down on you later. That's you know, huge relief. It's like having a landlord. It's like having a landlord that knows you grow weed, basically. Right. You know, compared to like having to dodge the landlord and the cops. You know what I mean? They're like, fuck. There's so many people to dodge, and we've done that for our whole life. So in a way, being on this weird, you know, getting kicked off of platforms or getting kicked out of banks, or getting kicked out of anything just because you're like, what? I thought we were past all that shit. You know what I mean? But it's definitely happening.
Yeah, I use this analogy that the new YouTube CEO is like a brand new principal at the high school that you're a senior in, and you know how everything goes, but they've never been there before, and she just comes in and like puts all the potheads, expels all the potheads.
Yeah. So, and is there, like you said, you're thinking you're going to be getting some investors, it sounds like, and hopefully
crowdfunding.
Well, we want to stay fully crowdfunded for the time.
Okay, cool. Okay.
And if we take on any investors, it will be a interest loan payback only. We want to make sure that the right people are involved. And this is not my first business I started, and I know that sometimes if you get people involved quickly, just because they have what you need, it's not always the best end result. So we're trying to make the right choices now in the beginning.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, we've seen that many times, and the crazy part about that is, you know, even when you think they're good, just once the money starts to flow or things start to happen, then you see 180-degree right. You know, situations where you're like, wait a minute, didn't we just talk about all this stuff? You know what I mean? And then they throw it like,
right.
You know, well, what do we need him for? You know, that kind of bullshit. You know, you're just like, no.
Right. And so,
yeah.
And I have no problem talking about the fact that, and this is public, but I own 51% of the site, and I will maintain that 51%. And the reason for that is because I don't want to end up in a situation like that. And we've had so many people try to throw so much money at us, but you know, these people's plans are to spend millions of dollars on the site and then basically just catalog it and make it into a monster. And that's great, but you're doing it for the wrong reasons, and that's why I can't do it.
Another train. We're in train alley here. They're coming through.
No, the train just got to Aurora. We're hearing it on his mic.
Oh yeah, right. It's coming through.
Yeah.
Same train. Same train. Well, cool. You should, like I said, you need to come down and hang out with us down at the studio sometime.
Absolutely.
And like I said, he's already got now he knows it's safe. It's not.
The government's not gonna know that I grow weed.
Well, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And again, like I said, I mean, somehow we haven't really had any issues, but then again, you know, here we are talking about it. So Murphy's Law says that we will probably have some issues down the road. And I was kind of bummed when we actually moved back on YouTube, just because I felt like almost defeated. Like, oh, there's nothing better out there. Like, this sucks. You know what I mean? Because I was on, like I said, we were on live stream, and it was like harder to get people to like take that extra step. You know what I mean? Because everybody, when you said YouTube, their eyes lit up. Like I can do that. You know what I mean? Like, they just felt like there was something complicated about podcasts every time. Like, how do you do it? What is it? You're like, dude, you just punch it in. It's not that hard. You know what I mean? But once you said YouTube, it was like, yeah.
Literally just talk.
Yeah, little kids. Yeah. My 5-year-old could do that. You know, and it's like, yes, finally, we have somebody.
But listen, okay? Without, you know, it's good to have people in the world that are like that. They constantly ask questions instead of do, because it leaves room for the rest of us who do to do.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, once people now, would you have like are you gonna have like an app or anything on the phone that people can just link, make it easier for those guys?
Yeah, so that's part of the GoFundMe that we're doing right now for that $30,000. That $30,000 is going to get us a brand new site built from scratch, apps for iPhone and Android released at the same time, and the new video player, which is going to make video play wherever you are on your phone, no matter what. easy to play, no buffering, no issues.
That's cool. Yeah, because I mean that's also part of the difficult part of getting people to take that extra step. Where before, because everybody was already used to the idea of of everybody knowing what you were doing, and nowadays it's like the opposite. We thought we were out of that. We thought we were out of those woods, but apparently we're not. So luckily we have people like you who are gonna make it a safe haven for us, and
trying my hardest every day, day and night.
Hope you don't get taken out, man. Take him out. Take him out. Take him out. You never know. I mean, no, it's crazy how restrictive they are. They did the same thing in Holland with information about like books and stuff, which was like, the most like ridiculous. Like all of a sudden, out of all the things that they sold in Amsterdam, they came and took the books out of the stores. You know what I mean? And they were like, really? Like yes, any books about growing, they must be taken out. And it was like, or taken out. It was like people were hiding them behind the counters and stuff. And I was like, they sell like double-ended dildos next door in the window, you know what I mean? Like, and they're gonna worry about fucking grow books. You know
they
what I mean?
sell
Like
people right across the street.
Because they were like, yes. What if the children see it? And I'm like, dude, this isn't like next to the red light. I was like, this is not where this isn't. This shouldn't be devoted to that. And it wasn't even like that. It was like books, literally books about growing weed. That was like because it was information. They considered that like a dangerous thing, And they can sometimes do that with anything media related, I guess.
Yep.
There goes my HVAC guys.
Well, thank you guys so much for having me on here. I really appreciate you giving me the platform to talk about the WeedTube.
For sure, 100%. Like I said, it was perfect timing because we had right here next to me a guy who has been through the turmoils that are leading people to even have to get to that point. And, again, like having everything in one place, that was what bummed. I didn't like to do that at first because I felt like, oh, now we're all just kind of, again, here we are like on the, on the kids table or something like that, because we aren't on the bigger platform. And the bigger platform should be, open to obviously everything. But when you start getting flagged and then you're getting pigeonholed with like really a bunch of bullshit, you know what I mean? It's kind of not worth even giving them the opportunity to rep your shit, So it's a good opportunity to fucking stick it to the man. Every time you think something's cool, like now YouTube's the man, you know what I mean? Like they were cool before, now they're the man. Eventually, Facebook's the man. Everybody's,
Tom from MySpace.
We already,
Tom was cool though.
Tom was pretty cool. He's he's just doing photography around the world, which is, obviously when you have I think he got like 200 million or something he got from that deal, but Tom fucking figured it out.
Made friends with like everybody in the world before anybody else did.
Made friends with everybody, so he had the most friends, and then he just fucking bailed. Yeah, so thanks for calling in, and like I said, anytime you want to come hang out, give me a heads up.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I'll keep in touch. I followed you guys on Instagram.
All right, then. Thanks. Peace.
Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.
Later. Sun's getting bright.
WeedTube. Oh, sun's getting bright.
Through the trophy, it's like
it's awesome. Look, it's like dun, dun, dun.
Right.
All right, let's do our shout outs, and then Fo20 is going to join us, I'm sure, and then we're going to have Susan Squibb call in, and who else did we have calling in?
It was Arend. He just called in, as far as I know.
That was because we got Mr. Wiggly. See, we did it all. We did it. We did it.
Yeah, we did it.
Not yet. We haven't
We're
done it.
We're going to do it.
We did it. We got everyone to like.
We're going to do it.
Yeah, we're figuring it out as we go along, as we usually do.
Yeah.
Ba-dum-bum. And let me just guess. It's probably Millennium, right?
Yes.
Of course it is.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
New Millennium. New Millennium Nutrients won like all sorts of cups this year. It was like, bam. It was nice to see. It was like in different people's things. I was like, what nutrients did you use? Oh, New Millennium. I'm like, oh, shit. I think Dude Grows used New Millennium on the weed we just smoked. The Scooper Noopers, which everyone loves.
Scroopy Noopers.
Yeah, is that like
was my favorite.
Frost Bomb or whatever they have or something like that?
Frost?
The winner.
Product-wise?
Is the winner.
Product-wise? New Millennium?
Yeah, I don't know.
They do a Winter Frost.
Winter Frost.
That's what it's
Winter
called.
Frost.
Yeah.
Yeah, Winter
the
Frost
Ruby
is one of their,
Fulvic.
and their Ruby Fulvic are like kind of unique, like as far as like their Fulvic is literally by got 9 kinds or something like that in there, so it covers every fucking possible angle you could on that, and that's obviously Fulvic being the top of the periodic sort of scale when it comes to your nutrient lines, and best assimilated thing, and you just like it's one of those product lines which is made by very knowledgeable old school growers who have been in the game for a long time, have helped develop big lines and stuff. Neil's like one of those old school guys, which he's definitely coming on the show. I keep asking every time I'm in there, like, yeah, he's gonna come on. He's coming on. So one day we'll get Neil's on here. We can really fucking drill him for some info, because he's one of those guys who's, again, like been there with GH and with all the bigger companies, and what he developed Bud Blood back in the day. You know, remember that stuff?
Yeah.
That shit's been around forever, right? That was like the first thing that you ever saw. That was like, okay, you ran the GH line, then you got the Bud Blood, and you added that. You know, it was like, oh, that was like your additive. You know what I mean? But the weird part about that stuff was it would open your buds up. It wouldn't tighten them up. So it was like a different frame of mind. He wasn't trying to make them like a PGR kind of thing where it's all tight and dense. What it did was it opened your buds up a tiny bit, which then made them fill in a bit more. So you got a better yield because you had to hit them up at the right time. You didn't want to hit them up too late. You hit them around the 4.5, 5 weeks with the right when they're that real big vigor or whatever. So he was the guy who developed that, which is kind of like, so in a way, godfather of all those things. And then this product line's out of here in Colorado, which is awesome. So we got to watch it develop, and you also mix it with other lines that I was already used to, which is cool, like Bud Swell. I was like, oh, I love Bud Swell. It's like, old school, literally smuggled Bud Swell back to Amsterdam in my bags. It was like wrapping up guano and liquid guano in bags. It was like, nowadays they'd be like, what the hell, phosphorus? Because I'm sure the testing would come out all bomb related because of the high phosphorus content of the thing. And you're like wrapped it in duct tape, and it looked shady as fuck, and it was all liquid, like 10 gallons and gallons of liquid. So it was funny because it was $30 over here, and like I couldn't even get it in Europe, and I was just like, this shit's the value. It was funny. So anyway, those lines, awesome. The fact that they're also adapted their line too, and they've it's like they keep adding a few new products to. In the beginning I was like, they don't even have a lot of products. Now they got a shitload of products, but you don't use too many of them at one given time, like 4 maybe at a given time. And their timing is really cool, so just check them out. They have a pro line also where you can that's when you use Bud Swell and products like that. The regular is just using their straight line, but if you want to check out their pro line, you can go on their website, which is newmillenniumnutrients.com, and they have a store finder, I believe, and they have definitely a calculator, which I know that's there. No, not the store finder. Store finder there?
Yeah, store finder. I was just playing with it.
Oh, good. Yep. See, it's working. I'm just talking on my ass over here. I'm like, yeah, they got a store finder. They'll do this.
You're cheating on your phone. You're like,
yeah. No, nothing on the phone, dude. Like, cheating. You think this is cheating? This is a terrible job at cheating right now. If this is cheating, I am the worst cheater possible.
And now we're off to buildasoil.com.
Thank you for pushing us along to buildasoil.com. These guys are obviously right now must be working around the clock. Also, it's amazing how far the reach of these guys is, because a lot of the products you can't find them anywhere else. So you get onto their website, which is buildasoil.com, or you go to 855-877-SOIL if you need to talk to somebody and you're so far out in the middle of nowhere you can't get internet, and you're like, I gotta get in touch with somebody. They'll talk to you about what you need. They'll get you on your IPM program for your pests. They'll get you on your nutrient lines as far as your hopefully you're doing a like no-till or something like that, because that'll be your one-stop shop for all that. Mix your soil if you want to do big runs or whatever you want. They're the best, and it's amazing. Like I said, how many times I'll be talking to people in Oregon or Cali and stuff. And like, oh yeah, Jeremy, I get shit from him all the time. I'm like, that guy's he's a busy guy right there. A little Colorado guy who's expanded. I think since he's been involved with us, he's expanded 3 times. But he literally, like when he first started with us, he was in 1 spot, then he was in 2 spots, and he keeps on growing, and that's what we want to see. So if you go to them, get all your organic needs in check. And
we're up to
if you
Incredibles.
Want to go to Incredibles, edibles, best edibles in Colorado, but most consistent. The Jelly Bean, which is the one this year, is from Derek from Incredibles. So it's his little child, 13th pack.
Ooh.
Took him 13 packs, 130 seeds to fucking get to the fucking finish line and get that jelly just right. And
they still have it too.
Yes, they do, and it's one of those ones that's lasted. It's been in the rotation here with us for a while. I love it. I made seeds from it a few times, gave it to some guys, and they grew them in South Africa and told me, like, they showed me some photos, and they were like, they looked just like they do, but they were beautiful and round and giant and just fucking, like, healthy as fuck. And it was one of those deals where it was all desert, and if you looked from a distance, it just would be like this green swath, you know. And I was like, yeah, that's the way we like to see it. It was like big enough that and yeah, it was just very consistent. It's a great plant. It's a really, really good plant. Yeah. And also, again, consistent, just like their company is fucking on point. If you want the best edibles, all sorts of microdosing products. They got, like, you know, you can get CBD in little tiny little pills. I think
the pens are great.
The pens are the bomb if you can get them, if they're not sold out.
Yeah.
My only complaint is that you gotta buy a battery every fucking time. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It's got to match.
I don't know if I need that many batteries if I'm going, because you seem to go through them fast enough that you don't need a battery for every single cartridge, you know?
That's interesting.
So I was like, man, just give me a 3-pack with no battery, and I'll pay a better price for that. Whoa,
Boom.
are we gonna go flying away?
Yeah, I've been watching it.
Okay, good. So you watch it when it flies. If it flies away, you're watching it.
I'm watching
Everyone's gonna be watching it when it flies away. That'll be the next best.
Grab the trophies.
Yeah, trophy.
Oh no.
So, but you can go to iloveincredibles.com and check their website. They also have a store finder, which is multi-state involved, because now they're in all sorts of states. They keep moving in to new locations, Massachusetts and Puerto Rico and Oregon. Here's another train. I love our train outside saying, you know, we're this is for real, man. It's for real.
Oh, it's
For
the
real,
rail.
man.
No, that wasn't the light rail, was it?
Is that guerrilla
think so.
podcasting?
Oh, no, it's no wonder.
I can see it.
That's why it's coming every 15 minutes.
Every 15 seconds.
Adventures in guerrilla podcasting.
Exactly. We have decided we're never going to be in the same place, even in our own spot. We'll just keep moving around every week. We'll be like, over here, over there, over here, over there. But you can go to all over Colorado, pick up their products all over all the states I just mentioned. And if you check on the website, you can see if they're coming to you. It's like cable TV back in the day. Yeah. Are they coming, Mom? They're coming. They're so close, bro. They're just over there. But also they got wellness products, which is really cool because, and you know, Derek, of all people, knows how to make bath salt. That's for sure. Like, that guy knows how to make bath salts. No, I'm talking about real bath salts. I'm not talking about nasty bath salts. I'm talking about the real deals, because that guy is one of those people who needs his bath. When we travel, we always have to get a hotel with a bath so he can go and soak down, because, you know, it's been through the ringer, that guy. But you can go to, again, iloveincredibles.com, check them out. And
we're off to wallacewell.com.
There we go. He butt dialed me today.
Oh, nice.
FaceTime at 9 o'clock in the morning, right? I was like, Ron Wallace, FaceTime.
Okay.
I don't think this is for real. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm just getting up. You know, I'm sitting on my couch. Cece's about to get up. The kid's about to jump on my head. You know, actually, no, I already dropped the kid off. He's coming home. And yeah, I was like, yeah, it's probably not for real. And then he hit me back. Sorry, bro, butt dialed you. I don't think he said bro. I think he said, sorry, I butt dialed you.
Sorry, sir.
Mr. Ron Wallace, the unequivocal king of the soil, Mr. Pumpkin Master himself, world record holder, multiple world record holder in the pumpkin sphere. His
like for giant pumpkins?
The giant ones, 2,000 pounder pluses. He's the man. He's the real deal. He's the guy who does all that year after year. Always in the top 3, or, you know, maybe 1 or 2 years he might fall. His dad actually won one year, which was awesome. He won one year, and then his dad won the next year, obviously with his genetics and you know, his selection and all his little guidance. Also, on top of that, like, you know, he's got a whole crew of guys over there that are just, like, phenomenal mathematicians and, you know, just really putting the work in. And his mycorrhizal products are, like, probably the best in the world. And, you know, again, his pumpkin seeds sell for up to $500 a piece. It's amazing. So he's like, hey. Yeah, so I was like, man, you are killing it on the seed game. There's only, like, you know, aficionados charges about $50 a seed. That's pretty expensive, but consistently, but 500.
There used to be some seeds that people were charging like $5,000 for. I forget what those
were.
Those
elephant bullshit seeds. I know. Yeah.
I forget what website it was.
Yeah, I do.
It was back in the day.
Was it a BC Bud Depot or something like that?
I think that's what it was.
It makes sense. They have the elephant line that they were doing, but these are no bullshit. Mr. Ron Wallace will get you again, like, best in mycorrhizal products and if you want to get him on the phone. Does he have a number there in front of you?
Yeah, he does.
'Cause he's that kind of guy too. If he does.
I thought he did.
No phone. I think he's just got to go to Mr. Just
Yeah,
give
no phone.
No phone. Websites. Give the websites.
Yeah, website.
Give it. Tell us.
Oh. WallaceWild.com.
There you
Actually,
go.
he does have a phone number,
See?
401-864-7747.
I'm going to say it right on the air because he's that kind of guy. He's old school. So if you really want to,
It's on the contact on his webpage.
I know. It's not like I told it. I just said go to the website. But I'm telling you, he's that kind of guy. Give him a call. Say, Ron, you're the man, and I want some of your products. And I listened to the Adam Dunn show, and that's why I called you. That's it. That's all you got to say. And he'll be like, oh, my God, this shit works. Compared to, maybe guys order here and there. And they do, of course. But literally, while we still can, let's call each other. Let's all call each other while we still can, because it's not going to happen much longer. Soon we're going to be like, no, bro, I can't. Because I have it now already where people are sending each other messages in the same room, and I'm just like, oh my God, is it going in this direction? This is the future of the world. People will refuse to use their mouth anymore. No. But yeah, Mr. Ron Wallace is the man. You need to get in touch with him if you need your mycorrhizal products and or anything soil related.
And then we're off to Seeds Here Now.
Seeds Here Now.
Those guys are great.
Those guys are great.
Yes.
They are the #1 seed source from American genetics that I know of, and I pretty much think I finally settled in to hold their own. They are supplying about 35 breeders at any given moment, THCs included, and you can go to their website, which is seedsherenow.com, or go to their sister site, which is seedaholics.com, and check out their auction site, which is cool because you get the last packs, lost packs, sometimes charity packs. And if it is a charity pack, then 100% of the money goes to the charity. It's not like a little bullshit scam where, hey, we talk about it. No, it's like those are real charity things. Those are situations where either breeders have issues, which happens to all of us breeders, usually at some point in time, trying to hold down our collection and keep shit going and being over our plant count, because that's what we do. Because we're can't help it, because it's part of our fucking what we do. We're like, hey, we can't. What do you do? And you just can't help it because it's part of this game of, plant count. We don't need no stinking plant count because it drives me nuts. But
Yeah, I hate that.
if you want to increase your plant count and get out of compliance, like the Adam Dunn show is telling you to do right now, buy lots and lots of seeds, grow them all. No, but at a certain point, some states are better than others. Colorado's kind of getting shittier, and most places are getting shittier. I haven't seen any place getting better, but for the most part, the big days are over. But when it comes to holding down, you can't keep a lot of clones around anyway. Just hold a bunch of seeds and keep pulling them out when you need them. It's amazing now too, though, because people now are finally, because you're down to 6 or 12 plants, so it's like you want to make them count. So. And you don't want to just grow. It's a dichotomy, because you're like, well, if I grow clones, I can veg them out longer and get more and get the same thing. But if you really want to make the most of it, I think just grow bigger pots, grow seeds, and use it like almost like time served to find the good genetics.
Well, if you find something you like, you can always reverse it if you have to.
Yeah, and or re-veg it.
Re-veg, I meant, not reverse, sorry.
Okay, I was just checking. I don't know what you're talking about now. I was like, whoa, yeah, you could do that, I guess, if you really...
No,
you can always tissue culture, bro. Okay, let me see it work. How's your tattoo doing?
Oh, yeah. Tub life. It's good. It's peeling.
A couple little bits left.
Yeah, it's
nice.
Shitty spot to get tattooed.
It is. I was
How's your neck doing?
Next dinner, right? Where is it? Here? I don't even know where it is. I don't know where it's at. Which side is it on? No, it's going good. Same deal. It's just on the final little bits. So
Seeds Here Now.
Seedsherenow.com. That's our man. And he just usually calls us up. I don't know. He missed out today. James being man on the scene is usually giving us a call to give us the update. But if you want to go check out the specials, or you can tell him the specials, because I can't see nothing here, so you can give us the top 3 specials he's got going on, and then
Alrighty, top 3 specials here on the sales page. May the deals be with you. I think that's a pun there. Let's see. Breeder sales, exotics genetics, except triple OG promo, thin mint, chocolate chip F2, and the mint chocolate chip crosses 8888. First 25 orders to buy 3 packs of exotics genetics gets a free 10 pack of tangerine cream. Gray Skulls Maui Girl crossed with Fire Pie Feminized 7888. And then Coastal Seed Company's Coastal Haze and TKM 10 8888.
To go add to that one is I will be joining James in Hawaii in 2 weeks. I guess
You're going to that?
Yeah.
Man, I got invited to be a judge. I forgot to get back to
Maui Cup. You should just. I'm sure if you come, they'll make you a judge. They're not gonna say
no. They invited me to.
Then you're coming.
But I was like, shit. I don't know if I can pull off Hawaii.
Why don't you come with me?
I might. But I'll be in Atlanta like the day before that.
I think I'm going to be doing the similar thing. I'm going to be like come back one day before I go to there from another place.
Right.
So it's part of this month, dude. It's like literally last month we thought it was bad. This month got worse. You know, as far as like having to be in 5 places at the same time. Like holy shit, I got to be there, then there, then there. End of the month I'm going to New York, and middle of the month I'm going to Hawaii. So I was like, oh shit, this is getting busy as fuck. I'm literally supposed to be in San Bernardino right now. Judging the High Times Cup, like, so I'm gonna. I have the sample. I have the things coming at 6 o'clock. So I have 1 hour. In 1 hour, I will be receiving the somehow magically with our teleporter. I have gotten the judge's kit. So I'm going to be judging. Oh, we know who that is. We know who that is. He gave me the warning this time. Hello. Do you hear me?
What's happening?
Do you hear me? Me? Yeah, that's how you're supposed to call. You're supposed to call and be really like, do you hear me? Do you hear me? What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Say what?
All right, there we go. Now we're good. We're good. All right, turn your radio off in the back. Don't get excited.
All right, hold on, Rev.
I already hear about Hawaii. I hear what I was talking about minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm fucking behind. What's up, Rev?
Yeah, you're behind. You're like, I don't know, like minutes behind. How are we? We're good. We're good. We are enjoying the sun and the nice weather here, and hopefully you're doing the same.
Yeah, I'm in Virginia. It's nice today. It's like 90 degrees.
90? Holy fuck.
That doesn't sound that nice.
Yeah.
That sounds not nice. That sounds like muggy as fuck. You're like balls stuck to knee kind of weather, or what's going on here?
But yeah, I'm just checking the show out, man. I want to call in and say a shout out, give it up for the East Coast.
Mm-hmm. Tell us
You know
what's
what I
going
mean?
on. Of course. Give us any and all shout outs.
Yeah, I was just, like I said, I was just calling in. I never called in before, so I've just been checking you guys out for the last couple months. I'm surprised I ain't snagged y'all out yet.
Oh, well, good. You should, definitely join us as much as possible. What's your subject that you're most interested in? What's the part of the show that you're most attracted to?
Man, just like the old school genetics. Like fucking, I want to get some of that Duke Diamond shit.
Yeah.
The old school Virginia stuff.
Yeah, of course you do. Of course you do.
You know?
You're like, I don't want to get up and walk around and look for it.
Well, I mean, it's like it's all gone. You know, it's like all these new kids on the block have taken all the the classics.
Right. Yeah.
I'm looking for that old Affy.
Right.
Old Affy, like early 90s.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, that's literally when everything sort of made sense to me. I was all, oh, okay. We can grow good weed. That's kind of what I figured out. I was like, holy shit, we can grow good weed, can't we? If we just can all, unanimously sort of work on stuff and actually don't just get pigeonholed. Because some people just have a bad start. And I think it was with Duke, he had such a good collection to work with. And,
Oh, yeah.
when you're...
Well, somebody nerded that up and kept, somebody was smart about it. And all my buddies were like, we'll get something different.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
know.
It's I know, and that's the thing is like a lot like.
And once it's gone, it's gone. That's it.
Yeah, unless there's one guy who like him and the Jelly Bean for the store, what we won with at our ADSI was literally something that we all grew it together, kind of communally, and then somehow we all fucked up, and he managed to keep it, and then he gave it back to the rightful owner, and everybody kind of kept rolling, and that's just where that can happen on a micro level or a macro level, but once it's out of your hands and it gets on a macro level and everybody has it, then it gets treated like a bitch and just gets all of a sudden nobody can grow it good, and it's like then it comes down to who can grow it right. You know what I mean? And there's only a few people who do that. But for the most part, if you keep it tight, and it's only say 4 or 5 people, and somehow more than one guy can hang on to it, but it usually always comes down to the one guy. It's like one guy, you're like fuck, and then if he's a cool guy, everything's good, and if not, you got a new drama, you know. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I guess I'm that guy now because ain't nobody. They're just like, rolling through them now. Like fuck that, man. I want something good.
Nice. Was that Mr. 420 finally, or what? No.
Was that dude blowing you up?
Susan.
Oh no, it's Susan. Okay.
Hey, I'll let you go, bro. I was just giving a shout out. I'll give a call. I'll call back sometime.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in.
All right, bro. Hey, look for small tubes in the chat. That's me.
All right, nice one. Peace, bro.
All right, bro. Later.
Small tubes, huh?
Small tubes. Yeah, you're not getting. She's like, small tubes. Yeah.
Is that a medical condition or no?
Yeah, I don't know. How you doing, Susan?
I'm doing all right. I'm still at work. So,
you're still at
not feeling fancy free.
No. Are you at the? Are you still at the cannabis, or what happened with that? Is that all falling apart? What the hell's going on over there?
Oh my God! A hedge fund is going on at the cannabis. But last week they had all the dedicated cannabis writers. They basically said no more. There's no more original content coming from the cannabis.
That's not
anymore.
Cool. That's not cool. Hold on 1 second, Susan. Now, is that 420? Sure. Is that 420 finally calling in, or what?
Could be.
You said your timing is impeccable, dude. You always wait until I have the actual guest that I was waiting for real, and then you join in, in the conversation. So you're gonna have to listen to us now. Listen.
Now wait.
I thought the last guy was you.
I literally watched the first part of the show, ate a sandwich, did a couple bong rips, did some dabs, went out in my yard and had a cigarette, came back in, did some other shit, turned you back on, and your commercials were still going on.
No, I'm very dedicated. I'm dedicated to my sponsors. You know what I mean? I give them the utmost attention. So.
Well, I'm old. I'm going to go take a nap.
All right.
How long before you want me to call back?
About 30 minutes.
Half an hour.
30 minutes. Perfect. See, we're on the same
page.
See, her and I know exactly what's going on. All right, 30 minutes.
Hey, man, let's not even pretend there's time or pages, man. Let's just let it happen, man.
Exactly, man. All right, talk to you in 30.
Sounds good.
Hasta young mana, folks.
Later.
Ciao.
Didn't the last guy sound like him in the beginning? Didn't you think it was really him? I thought for sure it was him. Yes. Okay, Susan, we're back. It's all you now. Just
all right.
you.
All right. Yeah, back to the...
Not the real 420 and
yeah.
the fake 420. Drama. No drama here.
The Denver Post, still will do some coverage, but there's no, original content coming from the cannabis itself.
That's crazy because it was such a good... It was such a good publication because it was like...
It was my go-to. It was my go-to for news here.
I know. Now what are we going to do? Now what are we going to do? We're gonna, our show, we have to actually look for information. We're going to be like, no, we used to just do the cannabis. No, but in general, I felt like the content was really good, and it was also, it was something to look forward to every time when you actually. Otherwise, there was nothing. When you looked at it, you were like, imagine if this wasn't here, there'd be nothing in this thing. You know what I mean? And now here we are. So let's see what happens.
Yeah,
let's see how that rolls out, because that's going to be lame. And a lot of people aren't going to. I think. What about advertising though? Is that going to just be fine, and dandy because it's money? Or?
I'm not totally sure. I think that they're just going to have it kind of be run by bots. So they'll run AP articles, and they'll basically pipe any kind of marijuana, cannabis topics through the cannabis, but it's just regurgitating what's already out there. So it's kind of sad state, and it's definitely not because there isn't an interest in cannabis journalism. It's just that larger issue of Alden Capital and the hedge fund owners, and these off-site.
Now, Susan,
company that,
I heard something really. I heard something about Ricardo or something. Is that a thing? Have you heard anything about that?
What about
Ricardo actually purchasing the cannabis or something?
Yeah, I think that he's interested in it.
I think today he formally put in for it today.
Yeah, an offer letter or some formal letter of interest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if you knew about that or could talk about anything. But
Yeah, I kind of heard the same thing. But yeah, I mean, it definitely it should continue on, and I'm sure it's kind of heartbreaking for Ricardo because he created the concept and really created a thriving
it's quite a bit of stake
digital
in there,
blog for the Denver Post, and it wasn't that it was making money. It's just these larger issues with the hedge fund owner that has the short-term goals of making money and not doesn't have any regard for local media coverage and things like that. So that's all I've got to say about that. But yeah, I'm no longer writing Ask the Cannabis, so I'm like,
I know, right? We thought
I still want to be the cannabis, though.
Well, you're obviously going to use your talents in kind of in the same direction, I would assume.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even before I was writing for the cannabis, I was doing a marijuana advice column for the Hemp Connoisseur, and I called that one Ask Lady Cannabis. So kind of been writing advice for years.
I'm pretty sure you can adapt in this day and age. But yeah,
thank you.
The print world.
That's what we're good for,
right?
With like things happen
can of chameleon.
Keep going.
I've heard that song.
So no, but in general, I think print is really hard to deal with in any direction, and then obviously online stuff. I mean, you get swallowed up into the world of so much that's already out there, and like you said, people can survive on regurgitated news now because it's all so easy to access. Where it used to be, you had to actually work for it. Nowadays you can set it all up pretty easily and pretty automatically, and have enough to create something that the average person would think is actually informative. But to create real content, which is what we try to do on the show here, is always like, you don't realize when you're doing it, but when you're doing it is valuable because it didn't exist before you did it. You know what I mean? Whereas when you're just passing around information, it's like everybody opens up a CBD shop or something. You know what I mean? You're like, oh wow, that's such an original idea. Are you growing CBD? And they're like, no. And you're like, all right, well then you're just capitalizing on the fact that it's there and that people want it, and you're able to give it to them, which is fine if that's what you do. But I'm more interested in... Yeah, is it sourced? Is it quality CBD? Like, are there lab reports for every batch that you're making products with? Or, there's all kinds of quality that goes into it. That aspect, too. And just, like, to me, it's more like, are you the one who's producing it? Because producing CBD that is a noble thing, in my opinion, because you're taking old... corn land or whatever, taking place that used to be, used for something completely different, and now adapting it with hemp and hopefully changing the landscape or whatever. That's the same. I feel like media is the same if you're producing really original content, which is getting rarer and rarer and rarer because, of course, it's easier to copy paste than it is to actually use your brain. You know what I mean? Which wasn't an option. Wasn't an option when we were younger. When we were younger, we didn't have it's hard enough to fucking manipulate someone else's work enough to make it your own, so that you didn't have to do the work. What became more work than actually doing the work. You know what I mean? But nowadays, it's at that point now where there's less and less people doing that. So what about the rest of the crew? How do you think? What's everyone's position, you think, over there? Anybody grouped up and started anything of their own, or is there any like... Well, I mean, Ricardo at Grasslands, at his content company, I mean, there's quite a few staffers from the Denver Post that have kind of sought refuge. And so he's got Alita and Polly who are working at the Cannabis. And so they're working with him now. And yeah, just the freelancers are kind of all just out and about. Right. So I'm out and about working on Mother's High Tea. Oh, there you go. I see you segued for me. I was already about to say, well, what we're really here for is to talk about Mother's High Tea, which now what tell us, even though we've had you on the show and we've talked about it before, like let's like update everybody on the reason Mother's High Tea is so successful, besides the fact that it's run by you, of course.
Well, and CC Dunn.
Oh, yeah,
she's
my beautiful
a
wife,
critical
CC.
part of the success.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's making
the
it work.
lovely CC Dunn. and all the committee.
One of the
committee is really
you should know. One of the 100 people you should know. Luckily, I know her. I already know her. So.
Oh yeah. She's quiet and humble, but she is a mighty spirit.
Yeah, well, she better be humble.
Very
She better
dedicated
be quiet around
to her
me, because
causes.
otherwise, can't be talking to me. Never get a word in edgewise. We got Nick now. Nick's already like talking over. Talks over me, so I'm like, oh man, created a monster.
That's a special relationship.
So Mother's High Tea is going down.
Yeah, High Teas.
Next
this
week?
is the sixth one, the sixth annual Mother's High Tea. And the concept is to have an event for women and mothers that are in not only the marijuana business side, the hemp business, but also advocates, just who work on lobbying or gaining access for medical use, and just communities that are really drawn to the plant.
Right.
And so it's not exactly a B2B. It's not, it's a kind of a hybrid, but it's a event, and it's lovely. We dress up. We have a tea party. There's inspiring speakers. There's a speaker program every year, and we have activities for the crafty guests and the kids. That's one of the unusual aspects of the event, is that it's family friendly.
Mm-hmm.
It also means that it's a non-consumption event, so there's no consumption with the kids running around with the media present
everywhere.
as well.
Edibles everywhere. There's edibles on every table, like just piled high as far as the eye can see.
We're just a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Right,
just kidding.
30 million milligrams of THC just lying around for kids.
Yeah.
to consume.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we
Nice
really here in Denver learned our lesson with that fiasco that happened a few years ago with the Denver County Fair.
I remember that.
And how one of the vendors, they brought chocolate samples, but then there was some kind of mix-up, whether intentional or accidental. Mm-hmm. And then you had all these people that went to the hospital because they thought that they were didn't know what was going on, and they basically were dosed.
And I remember that Dan Desai got blamed because he used to work for that company, and then he had just quit recently, and then they basically were like, yeah, he had reason to go in there and switch him out, you know what I mean? And it was like, no, he did not, and he did not do that. You fucked up, you know what I mean? It was Live Well, wasn't it?
It was all cloak and dagger.
Wasn't it Live Well? Or
it was, but it really...
I don't think it was a dispensary, it was a company.
It put a huge damper on things here.
Yeah, it was a classic. It was a classic. I bet there was a bunch of people that were stoked. They were like, those things were pretty good, actually. You know what I mean? And then there was one or two that were.
Yeah, and then there was
kids and
10 people that went to the hospital because they didn't know what was going on, and it was just oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
Especially the first year that they tried that pot pavilion.
Well, it was a failure.
Good. The joint rolling contests were so fun.
Right, but it was
There
definitely
needs to be more joint rolling contests in the world.
Like that.
I was also one of those. Wasn't that like there was no plants there, no nothing, right? It was like photos of plants or some bullshit. There's a few things I knew that they didn't quite really.
Oh right, yeah.
It's like, okay, the best photo of
the
best
it
plant.
was like pictures of plants.
I was like, you can't do that.
It was pretty cute, to see that take on a county fair, and how they marijuanaize a county fair.
We got fans.
Or vice versa.
Right.
It was cute.
So,
I liked it.
How many guests are going to be?
More.
How many guests are you expecting at the Mother's High?
Oh, it'll be between 200 and 300 people.
That's a good number. Number.
Yeah, and it's at McNichols Building on Friday, May 11th, from 1 to 5. And people want to join us, they can go to AXS and get some tickets, or go to our Facebook page and get the ticket link from there. But we have, the theme is tea along the Silk Road. So we are doing an international tea tour and sort of exploring tea cultures from around the world. So our first stop is China. And we have our caterer is all the catering, and the tea will be kind of food and teas that are known along the Silk Road and along that culinary region. So that's exciting to sample those goodies.
Yeah, it's awesome.
With our caterer. And we also have these amazing crafts that Confucius Institute. They have a little branch. It's kind of an international group, sort of a nonprofit with 500 chapters around the world. And one of their missions is to spread Chinese culture and language, and kind of aid with globalization and outreach for Chinese culture. So they will have a calligrapher. Their master calligrapher will be at our event doing phonetic translations of people's names, and we'll also learn how to write the symbol for mother.
Whoa. Yeah, they're gonna be like coming home.
Yeah.
I always think whenever anybody does like calligraphy in Chinese or that kind of stuff, I'm always like, does it really say what you think? I'm sure it just says like his would be like ginger donkey,
Lazy.
You know what I mean? You're like, ginger donkey,
Right?
What are you talking about?
Right.
It doesn't say, yes, it says mighty oak, you know what I mean? And he'd be like, nope, it says ginger
Right,
donkey.
yeah,
you know
and
what I mean?
it's
I can see that. I can see them.
yeah, or like you ride the donkey backwards or something.
Well, it's just that typical, like when people get tattoos.
tattoos,
the tattoos in Japanese and Chinese and stuff. I'm always like, you're really, especially when you're getting them in like Oklahoma, you're like, you're really. There's a good chance it doesn't say what you think it says. You know what I mean? Because that guy who wrote that thing has no clue what he's talking about. But I think when they know what they're talking about, they'd even take the piss more, because they'd be like, oh yeah, definitely going to sit there and make fun of. If I could just sit there and write what I wanted to about people and just tell them it's their name in another country, I'd be like, oh yeah, this is going to be fun. You know what I mean? they'd put it on their wall and they'd be all stoked for years. And every time someone would come who speaks English would be like, you do know what that says, right? You're like, huh? So you got.
Well, fortunately, we will not be tattooing at Mother's IT, so there will be no risk of any strange tattoos at the tea.
Unlike at the
We will have a Kung Fu tea ceremony. They'll be doing a demonstration. Confucius Institute will be demonstrating like a Kung Fu tea ceremony. So we're pretty excited to see that. And you kind of saw that in play at the tea house that you went to last weekend, right?
You're such a Segway stealer. My God, you stole my Segway. I just was like, yes, Segway.
Oh.
Segway. And then you come in and steal it. Exactly. So,
you and Adam Dunn's thunder.
Yeah,
all right.
I know. You're killing me. But no, we went to San Francisco.
Cannabis maven in the house.
And Cece was super excited because literally, like, when we landed, the whole thing about San Francisco is obviously the Chinese influence is, it's very strong there. Biggest Chinatown in the country. And that kind of, like, whole vibe of it was, like, it seems more authentic. You know what I mean? When you go to Chinatown in New York, you still kind of have that, like, it's kind of not as connected, But when you're in Europe, or when you're on the West Coast, you definitely get that like connection, and it just seemed like weird because everywhere we went was teapots and of random places and sizes and things, and so we were like, it was like, yep, it's following her. So she got good photos, and then we all of a sudden ended up in a tea house, and it was like the perfect way to do our trip because she got we got an education in that, and that was like 25-year-old like oolong tea that was pressed in bricks. That was super
nice,
super sought after. And then the whole education from the guy, because they had a Oxford major kid who basically like kind of stopped school and just works at the tea house and like travels to China with these guys and learns all the traditions. So he was doing it, and the funny part is that he learned from the guy who was there. And we went there with another guy named James Burnett, who's in the industry with Soluneem. He makes the micronized
that stuff's cool.
Yeah, so he brought us to this spot, And he hadn't been there in like 5 years. And when he walked in, it was like cheers, you know what I mean? Like, hey, James, you know, so had that.
Oh, wow.
So it was good because then they pull out the big guns, you know what I mean? They don't mess around. They knew exactly what to do, and we didn't have to ask anything. So it wasn't like a situation of sitting there and going like, I don't know what to do. It was like, no, they're going to walk you through the whole thing, tell you about the traditions and the white tea from, you know, basically the cool part about tea is that it all comes from one plant. You know, it's like it's not, even though it's different things, it's the same plant. It's just different timings. And so it's a little different than cannabis, but there's some crossover similarities where you're like, oh, okay, this is definitely cannabis related because it's subtle. It's the subtleties, you know what I mean? Like when you're drinking the teas, you're like, kind of just tastes like a dirty sock, you know what I mean? like, but then you're like, oh, but then you're like, I kind of like it though.
Rare.
It's just like subtle. It wasn't like
rare tea tastes like dirty sock.
There's some dirty sock flavors in there. It was definitely like, okay, this is not the most pleasant thing, and you don't sweeten it, you don't do anything, but you get, you know, you just go through a couple little tiny ones, and then you move on to the next one, and the guy just keeps going, doing the thing. But the funny part too was that
those are like more of the therapeutic, you know, kinds of teas. It's not so much like social or.
Yeah, they're more therapeutic,
like medicinal.
They had all different, like ones for hangovers and ones for your liver and ones, you know. So they were really like specific on some of them, and some of them were, you know, obviously, like again, decided so subtle that you'd have to drink like a whole pot of it, I think, to make a point. But the cool part is they would do like a right in front of you, and they would dump it into the thing and just they'd throw the first one away because that's bullshit, you know what I mean? So you learn, oh, okay, it's the second one. It's the second and third, almost like making bubble hash, where like sometimes the first round is not as good as the second round because it's kind of loosened up a little bit, and you go like, ooh, second round was better. And then other times it all comes out on the first round. It just depends on the plant. And with the teas, they kind of just dumped the first one, and then, you know, it was like, and they were real sloppy too. That was the thing I learned. Like I was watching them, and part of the deal, it seemed like, was if you're gonna like be the guy serving it, you weren't all like quiet. Like, you had to be really sloppy almost. Like, you know how when people are like, when you're really good at something, it means you go sloppy because you don't even give a fuck. Like if you're a chef and you just whip that shit together, and there's someone's like, holy shit, you just whipped it together. Whereas if you were like not very good, you'd be like real careful, and you'd like make sure the shit didn't burn. He'd be like fucking making fire, and he don't give a fuck, and just whip it, and all of a sudden you'd have this food in front of you, and you'd be like, whoa, wow.
Isn't that amazing? Cause
it is.
Yeah, it's like hot water, and they're
just doing the same
thing. I know that gong fu tray. It's designed to catch all the water.
And they basically have these. All it is 2 cups, and they're just like ta 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 ta. And they kind of swash it around in the cups, and you're like, okay, bam. And then he just like, nailed us. And then during the whole thing, the coolest part was that this guy James Burnett from Sauganaim, he's in his late 60s, and he had a stroke. About 3 months, or maybe even longer, maybe a little, like maybe almost a year earlier. And so he still had left side sort of, you know, paralyzed, but he was walking, and you know, he was like in a lot of pain. And then we were sitting there, and it was like a total like Chinese situation. You know, like everybody in there was Chinese except for one guy, and then the guy serving us. And this one dude leans over, and he's like, "You have lots of pain in your left side," you know. And he's like, "Yeah, I had a stroke." And then he's like, "I can do something about that," you know. And it was one of those situations where, like, a proper healing guy is sitting there, and he just like goes like, "You want to go in the back of the place and do it?" And he's like, 100%. Right? So James goes in the back, and we watch him get worked on for maybe 10 minutes or so, but he like got in there, you know, loosened him up and made him so by the next day he was amazing. Like the next day he was literally like taller, like he looked taller. You were like, holy shit, you look taller today, you know what I mean? Like he had the better complexion, everything seemed right, and he just like, I said, you got to go back and see that guy a couple of times, but they, you know, really got like the proper treatment. We went in just to check it out and have some tea. Ended up getting him some real work done by a guy who was like amazing. Like he was 80 years old. He looked really young. And later James was like, the guy's hands are really like hot, you know what I mean? So while he was there working on them, his hands were just burning. So it was like one of those deals where that guy had some power. You know? I was like, well, that guy's definitely the man.
Wow.
So that was a cool experience.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was awesome. And so you guys are starting with Silk Road. Do you know what the next theme is going to be? Because I know you guys used to do like, did you guys always change the theme, or did you kind of always kind of more or less had that,
No,
that
it was mostly
English frumpy thing?
Yeah,
going
kind of
on?
like the British
frump.
high tea style. Yeah.
Yes. It was.
And now there's so many kind of copycat events. I'm just like, let's just do something more fun. You know, we've done the British style for 5 years, so let's go around the world. There's tea in so many countries and so many regions.
That's cool.
Let's go explore.
Sure, and that makes it more interesting event-wise, because then if people have because definitely if you're going to pull out the same shit every time, like, I'm going to pull out my Mother's High once a year frump suit. There you go, frumped out. Ready to go, It's predictable.
Oh, no. No, fashion always changes.
That's cool. Well, gave Cece an excuse to pick up a couple of cool little Chinese dresses when she was there, so she was stoked about that.
Oh, awesome. So good. I'm delighted.
I know.
Yeah, Cece's
she's taking it serious. She's taking it serious. She is literally taking it
fitting in the
serious.
Chinese sizes.
Mm-hmm.
It's,
I know, and she wanted to order them online.
American women are like Amazons. And we're like extra large, extra large.
Yeah, nobody knows what sizes they really are when you order them online. And she was about to order a bunch of things online, and I was like, she's like, what, she needed like a large or something, and it was like impossible. Like she would never wear, she's tiny, so it was kind of
yeah.
So that's cool, and you're so it's on the 11th.
Well, we got one more really cool thing about the tea this year is that we are doing a fundraiser for our nonprofit, Colorado Criminal Justice Reform Coalition. Mm-hmm. And they're like an awesome group. They're really quiet, but they're very effective, and they've been around since like the late 90s here in Colorado, but they have a lot of projects both on the like community side and also like legislative policy side to help reduce the use of prisons in criminal justice. And so they've been really great in advocating for change and closing down private prisons in Colorado, and really getting more money and resources to reducing recidivism rates, and giving people that have served their sentence, giving them some kind of support and knowledge of resources, so we can reduce this whole reliance on prisons and criminal justice. So that's awesome. So, and a portion of our ticket sale is going to CCJRC. So if people want to make donations, they should get a ticket and then make a little extra donation on the AXS ticket site. Because the window will pop up and they're like, do you want to donate? Do you want to donate some more?
More. You're like, yes, of course.
More, yeah.
Of course you do. Of course
Help out the good cause.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So that's the gist.
That is the situation as we know it right now. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it sounds like you're gonna have more time on your hands to do other cool projects than you're not enslaved.
Yeah.
You're not enslaved.
You're
not enslaved down with the cannabis anymore.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Eden Labs, who's our presenting sponsor.
Oh, nice.
And to Willie's Reserve in 1906.
You got Willie's on board, so now you're going big time. You're corporate.
Yeah.
You're basically corporate cannabis.
Willie Nelson, he was my first rowdy concert my parents took me to.
Nice.
The first rowdy concert. So I grew up on country, so I was like, oh my God, Willie Nelson, the man.
The man,
the
myth.
Brand.
Right? Well, now, you didn't. Little did you know.
He's like America's grandpa.
No, he still puts on a good show. I saw him actually at that last one that he did at the Fiddlers thing.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, that was like a year or 2 years ago, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
It's always tough.
Yeah, I've seen him a handful of times.
It's tough for him to come to Colorado with the altitude and stuff, though, because he's always kind of like up and down from different health issues and stuff. It's like, you never quite know. He's always a good idea to go. I feel like every time I go to a Willie concert, I'm always like, you got to go. You know what I mean? You just don't know. It's like, don't know. It's going to happen one day.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
You're like, no.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I did manage to see him. I saw him in Amsterdam a few times, too, and obviously over there, he got super baked, so like the shows were usually really like once he played with Snoop, and he managed to do one song, and then he was just toast. It was like, all right, it's time to go.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah, it'll do it to people. Well,
that's too funny.
Thanks for calling in, Susan. If there's anybody else,
yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
Any other shows, and I'll have your cases for you. I'll bring them. You come to my house tomorrow, and we can get you your.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. The glass cases to protect the fancy
the fancy schmancy
that we have for display. Yeah, man, we're going fancy. We're going high class.
Nice. That's good to hear. All right. Well, cool. Thanks for calling in. We will definitely keep in touch.
All right. Thanks so much, Adam.
Have you come down when you can.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Take care. Peace.
Peace.
All right. And now, so we have a few minutes apiece before 420 jumps on. And then it's on, like Donkey Kong. I'm sure you managed to talk to him a little bit when you were there, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. No, I was sitting with his buddy. He was saying they were from Nebraska, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
something like that.
Something like that, exactly.
I don't know.
We're gonna find out more information in a sec.
Yeah. TK or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Or TK.
Exactly. Well, he's friends with him and his friend. We're friends with Tony from Sagamore. They're also seeds out in Amsterdam, so we kind of all met back in the day over there, and then. It was funny, too, because when I was there, I always used to remember Tony would talk about things from Colorado. And so Colorado was way off my radar in my whole life. You know what I mean? I was here as a baby once when I was, like, 1 or something like that. We lived in, I guess we lived in Estes Park. I don't remember, but, and we had to. And it was funny because I remember the stories, but I didn't know that it was Colorado. And it was because my mom's old boyfriend was this guy Gordy Ryan, and he's a drummer. He's a kunga drummer, and he's also a rock climber, and he's kind of just one of those guys, like, outdoorsy. And we lived in Estes Park, and you could take the road up, and it took X amount of time, or he could rappel down the backside and just get right down to the bottom, and then get a ride back up or whatever. And so he would put me on his back and like rappel down the go down the mountain, and like, fuck it, I'm not going down the road. It's fucking too much work. You just go out the back. Jump out, just jump down. So yeah, again, I didn't remember it, but there was something going on there, and so it wasn't. So again, like when I was talking to those guys, I was always like, yeah, this, and I think that Western Winds was one of the strains that they had. You know that strain? Oh, we'll find out right now. We'll talk to him. We will talk to him right now. There he is. Is he allowed to speak?
What's that?
I said you're allowed to speak now. Now you are officially the guest of honor with no interruptions.
Aww.
Yeah, you're special.
Well, but I ran out of time. Yeah. I got to go though.
Oh, go get out of town. Get out of town. Get out of town.
I so fucking hate your face, dude. I just want to punch you in the fucking vagina. Yeah, it's been a long show, man. You guys are putting it out. It's all good, man. I'm going to warn you now. When you wait this late, now I got a good buzz on, so now there's no holding back, bro.
Like I expected you to be.
Ready?
Like I expected you to be holding back. Come on now. Come on. How's your son doing? Is he okay? You guys are all made up now and everything? Everything's cool?
Oh, not only that. That wasn't the problem. Apparently, he might have a case of bowel syndrome. What do they call that? IBS? Get this. We went to Michigan first before we came to Colorado, and I guess he didn't relieve himself for almost a week and a half and almost poisoned his body. So by the time we got home, he was in fucking rough shape. So it turned into a clusterfuck for us. Other than that,
you guys know how to lay it on. You guys know how to nonstop. Well,
you saw it was up, man. We were there to play, but dude, that event was kind of wiggy, and that lady just pretty much. I mean, the first alarm was go biggie, whatever, and then that second alarm was like, okay,
first alarm was dope.
No,
yeah.
I mean, like you said, you weren't there,
yeah.
Dude. She just walked around to everybody and just tore assholes up, and it was like, what is your deal? And we're all fucking wasted. We're happy and high as shit, and she's just like, oh man, you know what's up. I'm sure you heard about it.
I heard a bit. I luckily wasn't there. I saw the video, and I saw them set the fire alarm off, so I was like, okay, there's...
Dude, you should sue her for slander or something. It was ridiculous. It was that bad. There was no fucking reason.
Yeah.
There wasn't nobody doing nothing.
Yeah.
I don't. Anyway, fuck that shit. Anyway, that's the whole idea.
She really struck a chord with 420. Said, well, it's okay. You want me to swing by there at any given moment, I can, and just leave her a little message for you or something. So
you should, man. But no, that's the whole point. Let's not.
It's only like 3 blocks away. It's not far. We're
past it. I don't even remember what happened, dude. I had a good time. I remember hanging with you for a minute, and we actually got John out of the house, and it was all right, even though my boys kind of failed, because one of them showed up fucking rolling and drinking with his cousin, and the other one I hadn't seen in 20 years, and my son he don't even party, and so he was just there to support us, and he trying to just deal with what else was happening, so it was cool,
the funniest image that I had actually of the event was, and I just walked away. I was like, okay, whatever, and it was when I saw you guys trying to tape that thing to the window, and I was just like, are you actually trying to tape a blanket to a window? Because that's not going to happen, you know what I mean? Like, I could just see it rolling down, and it was just like...
dude.
It literally... And then we were just talking about Sagamata, and it reminded me of Tony and his booths back in the day, you know what I mean? Like, when Tony would build a booth...
Honestly, bro...
It was like a big mess, because he'd be tripping balls, and he'd be, like, trying to put up a booth, and he'd be like, dude, what are you doing, dude? He's like, just try to put this thing...
You know why?
Catastrophe would happen, I was like... So I saw that
that's
happen.
Exactly why I called in, because you mentioned that fucker's, well, not that guy's name.
I knew it gets you worked up.
Just so we know, Adam,
yes.
Adam, how old are you real quick?
48. Be 49 next month.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm 50, and Tony's from my hometown, man. I didn't grow up with them, but we grew up on the same turf, man, and Tony's got a different reputation than he does everywhere else. And not only that, when I tried to help him out with that fucking situation, dude, I don't know. I'm just going to say this. Tony's a great guy, fun, a blast, lady killer, whatever. Yep, he can party and hang with the rest. As far as business goes, I wouldn't sell him a Twinkie, and I wouldn't buy a Twinkie from him. That's all I got to say about it. I'm done. So anyway...
But Western Winds, did he not get that from you guys, or did that come from? Was that just something from Neville or something like that?
I'll tell you the story, but I want John to tell you the story, because the reason why that won the cup was because of John. John needs to tell you the whole story. I'm not touching it, because why am I talking about that fucking guy? And it wasn't Western Winds that won. It was Cali Mist, Tony's Rip of Western. Gotcha. He called it. Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. We're talking about France, not that fucking... Anyway, you know what I'm saying, bro. That's something we don't want to touch, because I'm kind of got a little thing with that. So let's not... Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Okay, the guys that are sitting with you, real quick. The guy with the blue shirt...
Everyone's stealing my segue.
With the bear on it.
Yeah, that's him.
Okay, I'm just curious who these guys are.
That's Ginger Donkey, a.k.a. Mr. Uncle Wiggles, right?
Uncle Wiggy.
Yeah,
Wiggy.
I'm Uncle Wiggy.
Uncle Wiggy, fucking cool. And the cat in the middle?
I'm Justin from the School of Hard Nugs.
You guys met the other day, sort of.
Maybe.
He was right sitting right next to
check it out.
Yes.
Right, and that was the weird thing is, I remember that real clear. You know, it was a good time for me. We were on the bus together. He sat a couple people away from me, and he was the most reserved, quiet little dude there. I was kind of getting bored. Willie got on board, fucking Willie Waldman.
He had his trumpet.
I was like, oh, God damn it. And I told everybody, turn up the fucking music or give that guy some drugs or he's going to fucking start playing and we're never going to get out of here. And everybody's like, ha, real funny. Yeah. And I passed around a little silicone tray of like a bunch of my oil and all this and told everybody to put some on there and we'll do like a big smorgasbord thing. And that made it around, and by the time it got to me, I just noticed that cat was sitting there. We didn't meet and or nothing, but like I said, I think my boy TKO knows him or his buddy knows him, and we didn't ever really got any chance to talk or smoke nothing or nothing. I just ended up talking to the guy that had that blonde-looking hash that came from the back of the bus, and just whoever would talk.
Is that the strawberry cookies one, or?
I have no idea. All I know is it looked like blonde hash, and I was like, see the little face?
The Pelican Case kid, was it that guy and his girl?
He kept hanging out with Lawrence. He kept hanging out with.
They rode the bikes.
He didn't have any common sense then, obviously. So then there was.
It didn't matter. It was a quality what he had in his hand that he didn't realize he had, and that to me looked like the same fucking blonde hash that I got back in late '80s, early '90s. So I don't give a shit who he was. What he had, his fucking hand looked like blonde fucking hash. And I'm like, can I see that? And he's like, sure. And he ended up giving me some, and I tried it. And it wasn't proper lead blonde hash. What he did is it was an early pull, and he got some light blonde hash off of something, but it wasn't no true lead blonde hash. Okay, so let's just anyway, it was a good hash. But so,
I know exactly who you're talking about.
I remember the hash.
I remember the hash.
I believe you do. How old are the two guys sitting with you? How old are the two guys sitting with you?
I just turned 32. 32.
Okay.
Well, I was 31. And then, you know.
And I'm 33.
Well, it chromatically happens like that. You just can't get away from it.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other guy?
33. So the combined, they could possibly enter your contest. Not together, though. Together.
Right. And that's kind of where I want to start.
Uh-huh.
Adam, how many times have you smoked Colombian or Mexican Oaxacan True Gold? How many times have you had it in your hand, seen it, smoked it?
I think Oaxacan only a few times, and I never had Colombian.
Okay.
I've never had Colombian. I'm too.
Okay.
In a way, I'm too young for that, I think.
That's the funny part, because I had Colombian first, and later I had a couple of Oaxacans. And nowadays, remember me, what I handed you, where I talked to you about the Jazz? I think they even left you some.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that is of the Oaxacan pheno, that Jazz that I keep telling you about, but it's so far yet away from the Oaxacan, but it's as close as I could get yet. But trust me, when I get to the pheno, which I got to hunt through that pool for, I'm going to find her because I smoked it. Anyway, that don't matter. The Colombian Gold. When I got that, I was like fucking maybe 17 and living in South O, if anybody knows what that means. Anyway, me and my fucking buddy had a couple bucks, and we went downtown to hook up with the fucking Italians and these cats named the Romeros. And we picked up a fucking half ounce of the real Colombian Gold for $30. And it was a 3-finger bag, because that's how you judge your bag. You use your fucking fingers. 2 for a quarter, 3 for a fucking half, 4 for a zip. Anyway, so I looked at this bud.
Style.
I looked at this bud, and at first I was like, because you know what brickweed looks like. It's got that brown, and it kind of had that pressed look, but it was fucking gold. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I opened it up and smelled it, because at first I thought we were getting played a little bit, because there's a lot of ditchweed that grows where I'm at. So I opened it up, and I'm like, what the fuck? And without even a word, closed it up and said, yeah, we're good. And then my boy, who picked it up for me, goes up to the house with those guys real quick to talk to them. He comes back, gets in the car, and we book off. Come to find out, when they took him up to the house, they said, hey, we're going to roll your fucking buddy, take your weed, and keep your money. He's like, no, you're not, because if you do, then the Davenports are going to fuck you up, and the Davenports, well, I didn't say that name. Anyway, the point is, that we left with it, and it was all good, but they wanted to roll me for it. So we took that half ounce to a party that had about 300 people at it, and they had a 2-foot bong with a 4-foot piece of vacuum hose strapped to it, and we started tabbing people out. We probably fucking knocked half that party out with that bag. And I'll tell you what, dude, I still remember that shit. And I'll tell you what it looks like. It looks like pure gold, and on the bottom sides of the leaves, it's bronze, and on the top, it's gold. Just like a purple leaf would be purple on the bottom and green on top, a real gold would be bronze on the bottom and gold on top, and the fucking bud will be solid gold. It ain't fucking light bleached, none of that shit. It's so leached and has so little nitrogen at the end of it, dude, it's just perfection.
Man, that was a lot. You got it in.
Thank you, man.
Somehow you
I got a lot more to share with you.
Somehow you got it in there. Okay, so before you go forward, I got messages coming in like, who is this guy? What the fuck's he talking about? So you got to slow down.
Bring it.
You got to slow down a little
Bring
bit.
it.
You got to give us
Give
us a little background on 420 abnormal and what you, because part of what you're trying to convey right now is that we old timers, like, I'm almost there. See, now that you're 50, you're that guy who's like,
your palate.
Yes.
Your palate is completely different from most you cats in there, and they will never know what your palate's like because they just weren't there. And it's not a bad thing. It's just, okay, and this is the funny thing. Those cats sitting next to you have palates that are more advanced, because what they get a taste now are further extensions of the stuff we've done that are progressive. They're not all bad. I mean, we're talking pot nowadays to kick your fucking head in if it's done right, okay? The reason it was called Day Record Diesel, because you smoked that shit and your day was done. Okay? If you ever smoke a real diesel and it's called Day Record and it don't put you the fuck down, guess what? It ain't a fucking Day Record Diesel.
Sure.
If you smoke a headband and it don't make you feel like you got a tennis headband on, it ain't fucking headband. You know, just simple shit. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so question being is, I mean, what you want to do is get people who, for instance, are 20 years in the game and 50 years old, right? Like
that's. Oh, you're talking the open pros.
Right. So
we're talking the competition.
We're gonna get down. We're gonna get down there. We're gonna get down to that.
Yeah,
all right, we're gonna get down to that. We're gonna get down to that. But 20 years ago, for instance, 20 years ago, let's say, when we weren't allowed to when like stupid people like me were over there talking about weed, but at the same time not realizing that it was okay in 20 years, and we decided to wait around. What was?
And that's why I respect you, is because you did shit that people just don't know. And dude, you did some.
Well, you know, it was,
John still has the sticker from the tavern party. John smoked your hash out of the car, dude. Mm-hmm. Wait till we get John on. I don't even care. I'm nobody, dude. It's you guys. I'm fucking nobody, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's no, but at the same time, you were there on the front lines in a sense. And selecting in your own way. Were you growing the whole 20 years? I mean, have you been growing that the full 20 years, or were you kind of off and on?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Okay, I'll go ahead, and I've never really had a conversation, so let's just do it. When I was a kid, my first babysitter looked like Leif Garrett, and if anybody from the 70s remembers what Leif Garrett looks like, he was like this singer that was a big teen idol. Anyway, we're sitting there, and I wanted to play with his racetrack. I was like 9 years old. And he had this fucking racetrack. It was like 80 feet long and super cool. And he made me always sit there and listen to like Yes albums, and he was always smoking pot. So one day he's there, and I'm fucking bugging him to get that racetrack out. He's like, smoke this bowl with me, and we'll fucking... And I'm 9 years old, and so I fucking smoked the bowl, and he let me play at the racetrack. Now, as far as getting high, I don't believe you get high until you pass puberty. I didn't get high. I just remember kind of the flavor, and then I got to play the racetrack. So that was about the end of that. Next time I got to try true pot. We had started scoring little bags here and there back in the day when that green skunk would come through, and we were actually, I'll try not to say too much, but we're in a little town in the Midwest, and we were getting shipments from Colorado. And the Colorado shipments we were getting was called green skunk butt, and it was very lime green. It was orange, red hairs, beautiful shit, $25 a quarter, $80 an ounce. Gorgeous, lasts you all day. And it would also come in with some chocolate, some grape, or some banana mescaline sometimes. Anyway, so...
Banana mescaline?
Okay, so I was still kind of young, and we were just buying tech. Anyway, so my best friend was named Donnie, and he was kind of a bad boy. And the reason I didn't want to mention that name earlier is because I grew up playing guitar, and then I grew up getting hooked up with my boy who played guitar, and we were being South Omaha boys, and people wanted to learn to play guitar because I was really getting into it. I mean, I was the guy that was learning leads and stuff. And so the two sons of the local Angels leader, he was put away at the time, they were playing music, and they asked me to come in and teach them. So that's how I was kind of connected to the scene at the time. And so not only were we seeing excellent flowers, we were seeing excellent anything. And if you remember the 80s and 90s, dude, there wasn't nothing that wasn't bad, because the stuff that if it's there now, it's funny. It's not real, you know. But anyway, so still only about 13 or so, we go over to his dad's house, and his dad rolled up his dude, and we were all just hanging around, and it was the first time that I had smoked with his dad, so he lit it, and we smoked it, and that shit took me out of my body. Like, I was like, what just fucking happened? And so the funniest part about it is, you guys remember the old TVs, the dial TVs. There was two dials, a UHF and a VHF. And we were watching like Channel 3, and I'm sitting in front of the TV reading a comic book, and his dad's in the chair, and he's like, hey, fucking shithead, turn it to Channel 6. I shit you not, I turned it to Channel 6 the long way around. I didn't just go 3, 4, 5, 6. I went 3, 2, 1, UHF, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. And so his dad just starts fucking with me. And I'm like, I didn't realize what I was doing, whatever. And, by the time I got done, I realized shit had changed. And then after that, I got through high school and kind of smoked, but I was just more of a guitar player. I didn't grow nothing. We did some cornfield stuff. You know, we get some beans, and we knew a guy that, you know, I grew up in the Midwest, so we'd throw some beans in the field, and we knew the farmer's kid, dude. It was pretty gnarly. Put it this way, the kid would plow the backfield, and we would plant in the backfield, so he would be the guy watching our shit, and at the end of the season, when he filled up, he would take all the corn down and just leave the plants up. He'd call us that night, and we'd go out in the middle of the night, and the only thing you would see in the moonlight are fucking pot plants standing up in the middle of a dead cornfield. It's fucking beautiful. So anyway, that's like, we're hitting about 86 or so, okay?
That's what
now,
I was born.
Was that?
Oh,
yeah,
I was
now,
born then.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, now you start seeing High Times in the magazines, and things are starting to really happen. Now fucking Neville puts that first fucking catalog out, and now people are starting to talk about varieties, okay, because it's not a strain. Okay, you strain your neck, you strain your wrist, you hurt your foot. We grow varieties, gentlemen. Okay, look up the term. I swear to God, I feel just as dumb. I had some guy correct me, and I'm not I'm kind of a botanist, but I consider myself pretty fucking knowledgeable. And the guy said, you know what, dude? And he put me in my spot. He goes, saying fucking strain is the wrong thing. It's a fucking variety of it. And I couldn't disagree, and I'm just saying that. Anyway, so we get past there a little bit. Now I start collecting some of the stuff because we start seeing some differentials, and then I stopped because I really got into music, and then I got some chick pregnant. I started having kids. I was a sous chef. I was getting into being a saucier. Pot didn't matter. It was just something I enjoyed. I took women out on it. I always had quality. We only dealt with quality. Ask Willie Waldman about where I'm from and the Big O, and he'll tell you we are one of the hottest spots in the world. And it's just what it is. So anyway, now we kick up into about, let's say, the early 90s. Okay, now I got friends that are going over to Amsterdam for the cups and coming back. Tony's sending fucking temple hash, actually, in the late 80s. He's in fucking India sending temple hash to, a certain friend we know in Colorado. That's where all that fucking wicked hash was coming from. Anyway, so people where I know here, Tony's already gone. Okay, so you guys were out of the picture already. Here, we were still rolling, and we had people that would go back from Amsterdam, other parts of the world, and shit was starting to come around, and all of a sudden we were hearing about AK. We were starting to hear about Kushes. We were starting to hear about hazes. We were starting to hear about different kinds of skunks. And if you look at the first catalog, if we want to go back in the day, guys, I hate to tell it to you, but there's only about 6 or 7 varieties in the world, and that's it. Everything we grow is a deviation of it.
Yeah, it's regions. It was all regions, at one time. It's pretty much all regions.
I know. Well, let me finish, Adam, because this is something that's going to change. This is what I'm going to change. Because it is regional, but that's an awful simple statement, isn't it? Well, I'm not going to make it that simple.
No, of course. But then within those regions, obviously, there's been a lot of transfer of genetics from,
You bet. Now, the reason is, did it all come from one plant, or do you think they were there in those regions to begin with? And that we're not even going to touch that because that's what I want my show. When me and you have the show, dude, I'm going to break you down on what I call the Sacred Six because as far as I'm concerned, I've actually found which the original mother plant is that is connected to everything, whether DNA is used or not. Anyway, I don't even want to get into that. Let's keep it simple.
Let's keep it simple. Since we're not,
okay, so we're talking about my just basic fucking history. So we started buying seeds, blah, 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 blah. Now, guess what? Computers are available. So I'm having kids. I'm a lead saucier. I'm growing a little bit on the side. I fucking whatever. And my boy sub dude started, and I moved to Wichita, Kansas from the Midwest, still in the Midwest. And in that place, I got my first shot at blueberry. And at that place, I got my first shot at AK-47. I got my first shot at N05, which cost us $265 a pack from fucking Emory. And fucking reefer means pure. It was worth it. I'll give it to him, but, anyway, let's not buy it. Anyway, so, okay, so we go through all that, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, the only thing that really stuck to me was this blueberry pheno of, some dude said it was AK, but I believe it was something they brought back they got from somebody on the side that might have known DJ or somebody because it was unique. And it ended up getting called Fauxberry because I ended up with the only guy that would take care of it and had it, and I loved it so much because anytime you took it, man, it had a different high. It never had the same high, and it was always an intense, weird high, and it would start off in late bloom like onions and armpits and then turn to sweet candy blueberries at harvest. It was just bizarre. So that was Fauxberry, and that was something I was kind of known in my zone for, but other than that, didn't really fuck with nothing. Then I started buying packs from you guys. I bought from you. I bought from Gypsy. Fuck, dude, you name it. HG420. I bought from Doc Chronic. I bought from Fett when he fucking ripped off everything from Brothers Grimm and Slice Brothers and The Man were ripping. Dude, you name it, I'll take you all the way back. It's ridiculous. Remember, I had a 30-year seed collection. I got popped 4-6 years ago and lost it all, but when it fucking hurts.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so anyway, okay. With those seeds, I started breeding, and that was it. From there, in 2002, I created AB Normal, which I took from my graphics company. I just used the name because it fit, because I am a little ab-fucking-normal, that's for sure. On top of that, in 2004, I came out online and started talking on HG420, and that was the beginning of all of it. And that's about it. So I started about the mid-'80s. The guys I know go back even farther, and our oldest cultivar that we still have goes back over 30 years, and it's the same fucking plant. So, and it's connected to the first cultivar's choice catalog, though. It's the original Maz AK, or actually, it's the original Maz Happy, and it's the Mazar Sharif Hindu Kusher. Anyway, how'd you like that Maz wax I left you? Because that's what it was about.
Well, I didn't get enough to really get delve in deep enough on the weed, on the weed side. It left me a little something like the smallest nug in the world. So I was like, okay. I was like, what is this hash? More hash?
I didn't. I was like, none of the weed was mine. Like I told you, I fucked mine up. I didn't even want to show you my weed. I was embarrassed. And then TKO shows up and it's seeded, and everybody, your competition, as soon as they saw seed, was like, yeah, I think that's done. So even though we had a shot from what the photographers and some people say, I guess because there were a couple beans in the bud, we didn't have a shot. And the problem was that TKO's running.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, real quick, TKO is running Grape Stomper, a Salvard Bubble Grape Stomper, which throws late manners, and that's what it pollinate the blue goo that we sent in. So it was no biggie, but we just thought that kind of sucked. Because when I told TKO that people were saying that, and here's what's fucked up. My son Cam was filming the event, remember, and helping people.
Yeah.
He heard the people. He saw them break open the bud, the seeds come out, and there was more than just ours that had bud. There was a couple people's that had bud, and anybody's that had seeds, the people wouldn't judge them. So anybody that had seeds in their buds kind of got screwed out of your whole competition. But it didn't matter to me. It's not even the point. The point was when I told TKO that he felt like a shit. Like it was like, really, like no one smoked his weed. He didn't give a fuck about the competition. He's like, man, don't even try my fucking weed, man.
Well, I doubt that's true. I think maybe one group did and one group didn't. I wouldn't.
I'm sure they did, but you get what I'm saying, bro. That's no biggie.
Yeah. Well, you can't bring a knife to a gunfight though, and expect people to not just go like whatever, just roll all over you because that's.
Oh, bro, I'm.
So in a
dude,
sense,
I told you what happened to mine.
You know how people.
Right, and I. Exactly, and dude, it was a snob party. That's what it was for. Well, it was supposed to be. Well, not a snob, but it was a connoisseur's collection, dude. It was beautiful.
We just had the Snooper Duper out, and it had nanners too. So, yeah.
Yep, it did. It was very classy. We posted the pictures that we got only the first day because fucking Adam, you didn't even tell me we were going to the event. I didn't get to take my good cameras. We're taking camera pictures on our phones. I want to slap you in your nuts.
I didn't.
Because we could have really helped you here and all those people. Because we document. So I got some of the most beautiful bud shots, bro. I mean, there's gorgeous bud. I don't even know who some of this is, but I want to smoke this shit. I mean, I'm sure
we actually do have photos of everything, and they're all coming out in this next week. We just kind of wanted to give it time to chill, so everyone gets we don't care about us, and then all of a sudden here you are.
Right. And I don't care about any of them. I just want to see the bud and know what kind it is.
Yeah, with the one from
give a shit who did it.
TKOs, we have a picture of us stamping all over the bud. And it just like crushing it because it has seeds, and then it's a nice photo. You'll see it.
Right.
Hammers, we got hammers out. We're smashing it with hammers. We don't give a fuck. We're like, fuck this guy. And
bud.
Right.
No, we did not. We took nice pictures of everything.
They found a seed in mine, and they were like disqualified it. I was like, damn.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
but that was just one table.
Yeah. There you go.
One table.
And I tried to tell Adam
that was my table.
This is what our thought process was back in the 70s and even 80s, bro. There was more sticks and stems in your fucking shit than bud and seeds. So it's like, and it still whooped your ass. I don't even get the mentality. So when I told Adam about it, I just tell people that give it a try. Well, if that seeds or not, that's not the fucking point, It's a fucking bud. Judge it. Close your eyes, stick the flower in the fucking bowl, and smoke it.
Kids these days. It's the kids.
Anyway,
it's
all good, man.
It's the kids, and they're the oil heads, and they can't handle it, man. They just
I know, but we got to teach them, brother. We got to teach them right, and that's the thing. It's our fault. It's not their fault. It's our fault.
It's not my fault.
Okay, anyway.
It's hard. It's hard to get these.
Actually, just blame me. It's all my fault. I'll take all the. It's my fault. I'm such a fucking idiot.
I will definitely do that. I will take you up on that 100%. Guaranteed. So, so you did get to hang out and try his weed a little bit. So you do remember, like, the reason he won is because his shit cut through stuff. But like I said earlier, the competition wasn't. The competition is not
was the guy that sat out on the patio by myself and just did dabs all night. Because I only smoke out of water paraphernalia, and all you had is those hitter sticks. So I couldn't even do bong hits.
It was a BYO. So, it was a BYO situation on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, so it's all good, man. But like I said,
gotta lay it out for you, man. We gotta lay out a whole. Everything's gonna be perfect, or else there's one hiccup.
Trust me, he knows TKO. Me and that guy are gonna get together and smoke each other's herb. That's not gonna happen. It's a done thing. He won that. Okay, now he's got to come meet me. You know what I'm saying? Because he already knows my boy. I don't even know that he knows my boy. Now, why hasn't he introduced me? Maybe he's trying to hold you from me. Maybe me and you should meet and find out why that is.
It's conspiracy.
So people are a little interesting in the scene. There's the other part I want to talk about real quick. So if you got anything to say, say it real quick, because I'm going to do a bong hit. I'll give you a minute. And I got a statement that I'm going to make. And I want you guys to react to it. So
all right, we'll have a quick.
You got anything to say, go ahead and say it now. I'm going to do a bong hit.
Is there any water around?
Go.
I think I drank the last water, actually, so we have to, we're water-free.
I got a fillable. I'm not drinking right now.
Yeah, he's.
I really want a beer, but.
Yeah, fill him up.
I don't know if you guys want the water, though.
I'm drinking Tang.
Yeah, it's fine.
Astronauts drink Tang.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Safe. It comes straight out of the auto shop. You know. The best water. You get the best water out of the auto shop.
That works.
This is 7-Eleven at the end of the road. Then you're gonna swing back. You get me a couple waters would be nice.
Man, I gotta say, man, Led Zeppelin, my LED guy, knocked out some cookies to the set, and I don't know what he's doing, but fucking he's doing it.
Knocking cookies out, huh? Make sure they're the right kind of cookies.
I don't know what kind. I think he's just got it's not the Thin Mints. We got something that's awful Durban, Hemi. I think it's the Forum Cut or something.
Water.
It produces. It produces like a motherfucker, and it's on point. So that's all I know. And it's pretty much like a Durban hit of some kind of light cam.
You said it's grown with LEDs.
See, now he's growing all his new swag. What happened to the 90s and the 80s and all the good weed we were talking about?
Okay, let's go. Let's keep. Okay,
let's
cool.
go.
Let's keep going real quick. Then.
Slap it down.
What I did was I started collecting seeds, and that's where my collection came from. But then, like me and Rushman, Motor Rebel met. Well, Tony wasn't in there. I didn't know you yet. I didn't know John yet. This is way, way, way back in the day, and I was doing other things in other states. So, like I said, I started collecting and making stuff, but I wasn't a breeder or nothing. I've never been a breeder. I'm a medical co-op. I've always just helped people. I've always grown very small home batches, homegrown for the people, because I feel the smaller the group, the closer the tend. Like, you get too many, you just lose tending. You know, there's just too much going on. So I believe in my situation, in my mind, I can run 20 plants, and that's about my limit to where I feel I'm not going to miss shit. Every one of those is going to be perfect. I'm not going to let them not be perfect, because they're going to tell me if there's a problem, because they'll get mad, and my plants talk to me and tell me everything they need. And that's how I learn, is from my plants, not from any books or anything. If I see a nutrient issue or anything, I know why. I don't know. We'll get into that later.
We got a lot of layers. A lot of layers coming up.
Where were we going even to start on that one? I kind of did that bong hit and went left side real quick.
Yeah, you went off on a tangent on that one. No, it was fine. We're basically just going over a little history lesson. You were but you went back in time. What happened was, for some reason, you went back in time.
And I started meeting you guys. I started meeting all you cats at points, but not at the cups. I didn't go to that shit. And I stayed off the line, too. I was only undersurfing the fucking, on OG, I was never a member. I was a constant stalker of their fucking strain base. Dude, I could probably tell you that thing without looking at it. Anyway, that's a lot of the other things I liked about it, because people would grow stuff. And this is about the statement, kind of, I'm going to make in a minute, is everybody's different. So even the way pot hits is going to be different. Like, somebody can do a piece of, some kind of speed drug, and they go to sleep. Some people can do a downer and get all hyped up. It's just, okay, and here's the fucked up thing about weed. Whether it's a sativa or an indica or mixed, guess what, guys? When you take it early, the effect's kind of rushy. And when you let it run late and get mature, the effect's kind of down. And the reason why is because with fucking chemical spectrums are fucking aging. So it don't matter if it's an indica or fucking sativa. It matters the age of those resins, fellas. And that's where your high will exist. And you can actually manipulate and control the high you want. Now, I'm not saying that indicas won't be debilitating or sativas won't be whippy. What I'm saying is you can manipulate those. Indicas will be extremely fucking debilitating because that's what their main thing is. But if you take them early too fast and play stupid, you're going to get a high fast. It's going to last for about 30 minutes, ain't worth a shit. And the same thing's going to happen if you do it to your sativas. If you push them too goddamn fast and think you're going to get them a sativa done in 9 weeks, then you ain't growing no fucking sativa. You're growing, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. So if they don't go past 10 weeks, you're never going to see a fucking amber trick. You're not even going to see a caramel trick because you're barely hitting cloudy. Anyway, so that's my kind of insight real quick on just how it affects people, but not that it affects people. It's the way we grow it and the quality of those resins and the maturity and the quality of the chemical at that maturity that is going to affect the person in all different ways.
I've got a great idea. We need to get you and Colin Gordon on the same show. Because that would be the most competitive. That'd be the most competitive show ever. I don't know who would talk.
Dude, I don't think R.C. Clark. I don't even want R.C. Clark anymore, dude. I don't care. Bring it, anybody. I'm done. And I've only started. I haven't even got started. Dude, I want to reclassify cannabis as parthenocarpic fruit. Period.
Yeah, well,
anybody you got.
We all want that. I mean, we all want it to be reclassified as not as where its direction is going.
That's not what the point is. What is cannabis? It's a fruit. Mm-hmm. We cure it. We ripen it. It's not a flower, bro. It ain't an annual, bro. It's a fruit. We give it sugars. It's got sucrose. It's got smells. It's got chemicals. It's got just the whole fruit part. When you don't fruit a fruit, it's called parthenocarpy. When we don't
it's like hops. It's kind of like hops in a way, if you think about it that way.
Exactly.
Like
so what we're growing is seedless fruit. Okay? It's an unfertilized ovary bulked out to a massive big donger. Not little buds, because if you got little buds, you ain't growing a cola. And if you ain't growing a cola, you ain't growing a real plant, my friend. Okay, now what did you want to talk about?
I don't know, dude. I have no idea anymore. I have no idea.
Awesome.
Knocked all
you
the
said
ideas.
Something about some Colin. You said something about some Colin, dude. So yeah, whatever.
I said you and Colin should have a show together because I'd love to see who would actually get the fucking word in. Nobody would. It'd be literally like one of you guys heads would explode. Is what would happen. It would be literally it'd be like just who's. I don't know. I'm not sure who. I'm not sure who, but.
I'll win. My nickname when I used to do sous chefing on the schedule wasn't even my name. It just said yak yak. So bring it. Okay. Anyway, real quick, I want to make my statement, and then we'll talk about whatever you want.
All right, statement. Oh, this is wait. Hold on, everybody.
Just real quick, just something special. Just let me feel you. Let you guys feel what I got to say real quick, and then we'll take it wherever you want. I already said the thing about why everybody's different, how it affects them. I already gave you guys a view about the resin profiles and how it actually affects everybody differently. So, anyway, we get all past that, and we get past the traits, and I just told you about those variables. Now, let's talk about terp profiles. This is something that will never change. Okay, so if you get a cut, if you get a seed, if you get a plant, and they say it's this, and, okay, let's say it's a diesel and it grows and it smells like lemons, then they didn't give you a fucking diesel. Or you fucked it up and you didn't grow it right. Okay? It's not the plant's fault either way. Because this is the justice of all of it. And this is something that will never bend. 50% genetics, 50% environment equals Adam.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Professor. It equals what? 50% environment plus 50% genetics equals 100% what?
Retardedness if you don't know what you're doing, and success if you know what you're doing.
Expression.
Okay,
you're a professor.
All right, well.
Okay, so anyway, it doesn't bend. I just said, anyway, let me finish.
I get you 100%.
Okay, so.
I'm following. Now I'm following you. I wasn't following you until that point, but now we're all there. Now we're
right. Okay, so 50% genetics when you are growing anything. That's the plant.
Sure.
50% environment is you.
Yes.
It's your environment. It's your newts. It's your soil. It's your lights. It's environment. All of that equals 100% of the expression you get from that grow. Every grow is going to be different. Every expression is going to be different because everything is different. There's no things that happen twice in life ever. Unless you're a fucking calculator. Now we're talking about nature and we're trying to control nature. First fucking problem. Talk to the plants. Let them control you for once. And I'll tell you what. When a fucking plant talks to you, it will change your fucking life. And that's what we're going to do is teach people how plants can talk to them. Okay, let me finish my statement.
Hey, okay. Nobody's jumping in yet. Oh, are you jumping in?
I'm a firm believer in
Uncle Wiggles is not. I'm attempting to get near the mic.
I've definitely thought plants were talking to me before.
Of course.
All right. 1 sec. Let me just finish.
Or it was just him in the phone in your pocket.
When we talk about the flavor profiles, back in the old catalogs, the reason they were just calling them Ackies and Cushes and Ghanies and Hazes or Skunks. You know, a skunk is not a pure line. That's a three-way hybrid. An Ackie is a pure line. But Neville's, if you look at his catalog, guess what, fellas? There was never pures. His first catalog said Ackie number 1, Ackie number 2, purple Afghan number 2, skunk number 1, skunk number 2, then a Nep. And then he goes into his next season ones that were like $5 a pack. They all were $5 a pack. But they're true late seasons because he had real super stats. It actually ran to July of the next year, and it said it at the bottom, which was beautiful. I love Neville for that, even though all he really did was collect a bunch of seeds and sell them. Okay, now get this. On his catalog, look. At the bottom, it says Original Haze. You ready? You ready? Original Haze, number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Of course.
Okay, feel me.
They're all originals.
There you go. Now, this is the original Haze. Which one do you want? The 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now, to me, what that represents is the true Haze. Then you got like the sweet pink grape. Then you got the fucking electric. Then you got, you see what I'm saying? A couple of those hazes, like the cotton candy. The ones that really stood out are those. Anyway, we will get into that later. So let me just finish the statement. Uh-oh, what happened? What was that?
Was what?
Okay. I'm having like a weird beep.
Yeah,
somebody's trying to call me. No, okay, somebody's trying to call me. No biggie.
Tell them, forget about it.
Damn it. Yeah, fuck these guys. All right, okay, so that's the whole thing. The terps will never change on the plants. That is the whole point. So if you get Urkel and it isn't skunky and purple and smell like grape and fucking skunks, it's not Urkel. If you get a bubble gum, Adam, if you get a fucking bubble gum, and I remember somebody on your show was a smart ass and said he never had a bubble gum, it smelled like bubble gum. Next thing you never fucking had bubble gum. I've had bubble gum, and it fucking smells wonderful. Bazooka Joe Pink up your ass all day. And there's also the Juicy Fruit bubble gum. And if you need to know about it, Adam fucking knows about it because he's the real guy that knows about it because he knows about the Kentucky boys, the Illinois boys, and the Indiana boys. And I fucking know he knows because I know he knows. Anyway, so let's finish this. My last statement is about pharmaceutical drugs. When I got busted, I went through a mental crisis and I lost everything. I could not smoke pot. I could not grow it. I could not smell it. It made me sick. They had to put me on medication. I was locked up for 4 days in suicide watch. A lot of bad shit happened. It took me 3 years to get a doctor that figured out there was one fucking pill that would help. All the other doctors filled me with all kinds of shit. Didn't do nothing. Made me fat. Fucking made me just all kinds of shit. And I had a lot of people online. I tried to help give advice. And when I did, I had a lot of other old guys I knew for a long time that ripped me a fucking ass thinking they knew what they were talking about. And it hurt. So I just want people to know that even though medications and shit it sucks, when there's no choice, there's no choice. But the whole point is find a doctor that knows what the fuck they're doing. My doctor gives me low doses. The shit I take works best at low doses, and we work towards eliminating it, period. He's a fucking canna supporter. He's a chemist. He's not even a fucking doctor. His background is chemistry. He breaks down your chemistry and compares it to what your drugs are on, and he works it that way. He's fucking brilliant, and he's young. And that's what matters is how that, it's not that it's we were doing drugs, we're smoking weed, and there's farms. It's all fucking drugs, people, And it's what we need to help.
5 seconds ago it was fruit, and now it's drugs. It went from fruit to drugs in like 10 minutes. You just changed it from fruit to a drug. Now you're fucked up. So now they're gonna be like, all right, you said
I'm
it was.
Just telling you.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you guys know. What I'm not saying is.
I'm just telling you I'm telling you from a lawyer's point of view.
It's the best drug in the world for anything. The problem with pharmaceuticals is even though they're extractions and maybe natural plants, the stuff they pack them in is what fucks up your kidneys and your guts. It's the plastics and the acetone and acetates they use to make a pill. It's not what you're fucking taking. That's the problem. It's our intelligence. So let's not go there, and that's the end of my statement, and I thank you guys for listening.
Yay.
What do you want to talk about?
Cheering crowds.
Let's lighten the mood and do another bong hit, man.
Yeah, let's go sideways.
What else we should talk about?
Go sideways. Well, okay, one of the things I noticed, which I was trying to say in the beginning, but I think I think you cut me off, maybe, possibly. You possibly cut me off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I apologize.
Anyway, but what I was saying in the very beginning was that what I noticed was that when people come to an event, which is not necessarily I wouldn't say well organized because that's not true, but as far as it's like a good crowd, good people, everything, and you keep it kind of small.
Yeah, right.
Then what happens is people get cup fever, right? And I said, I think you got cup fever. I think you got it because now you hit me up with some ambitious ideas of some multi-stage cup events, which are definitely gonna happen.
They're so badass. First you're gonna crap yourself, and then you're gonna shit.
But at the same time, it's funny because it does remind me of. Remember Eagle Bill out in Amsterdam, right? Of course. Do you remember him?
Me?
Yeah, you remember Eagle Bill? Did you ever meet him when you were in the dam?
I was never over there.
Oh, you never even made it there. Oh, you never even made it there.
I've never been over, dude. I'm a felon, bro. I don't even have civil rights. I can't even get a fucking passport. I'm a real fucking lockdown.
They wouldn't let you.
Dude, I got popped in 92. I ain't been able to do nothing since. I'm a ghost.
Right.
I don't exist.
92 was a bad year.
But yeah, someday I'll get over there. And I always say a lot of people, and no, I'm not Hawaiian. It's a state of mind. So I'm in Hawaii in my head. And I've been to Amsterdam a couple times because I've grown double Dutch. I've grown all the shit you grew over there and made seeds of, and fucking Tony's butthole, and Simon, and fucking Milo, Big Buddha. I know Milo kind of well. He's at 80 school. You name it, bro. But I'm over here, totally connected to the States. And my connection is different. Mine's all underground, and my web is pretty fucking wild. But you're in it, and you don't even know, but you're a member, and you know that, and the United Cannabis Research and Cultivation Association.
Let's talk about that.
That shit in there.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, that's going to be okay. Real quick.
The problem with that is it's such a mouthful. I can never talk about it because I'm like, I'll never get it right. I'll be like United Cannabis, something,
what's going to happen?
something. That's how it comes
this is what's going to go down. Because the first show you promised me, you set the alarms off, and it was fucking hilarious. And, dude, you actually made me wait like 2 hours and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And I was fucking beat by the time we even had the show. And then,
and now look
dude,
at
you. Even when I watch the show, I don't even watch the show. I just watch that first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's the best. Dude, I've watched that 50 fucking times.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but the whole point is our show only lasted for like an hour and a half. I need days.
I noticed.
So I don't know how you want to do it, but I really want to do an AB normal show with you so I can really let people know what we're doing now, because all that history shit, whatever. What we are gonna do to the scene, AB normal, we're gonna do to the scene here in about 8 months. We're not just going to release some lines, bro.
Pregnant?
We're bringing the 70s back. We're dropping a spectrum of genetics on the fucking scene. But anyway.
Who'd you make pregnant?
He's just scared of the young guys. He wants the old, old people only.
Young guys are done.
See?
Young guys are done.
I'm getting old.
Young guys are done.
Yeah, he's middle-aged. You're middle-aged in weed world.
Compete. It's like 50 and over, right?
No, you can't compete, bro.
Bring it.
I'm not going to let anybody compete.
No, it's 40. No, it's actually the open pros is 40 and over. We're starting.
All right.
Yeah, that's the open pros but you can get into the Masters Cup or the Masters. The Masters is the end of the year, and there's no age limit.
No age limit. Oh, shit.
Yeah, we're going to, okay, put it this way. I've been to a lot of cup events. I've been to your fucking events, which are more weird and wild than any of them. Cup events suck. They're a fucking waste of money. Old Sog himself went to the one in Cali, and we all went to yours at them. Yeah. And on 420, the report in Cali was you spent $300 and an extra $60 on your VIP, and you got jack shit, and you had to smoke your own weed. So, nice job, High Times. Congratulations. biggest fucking dump in the country. So I'm done. I'm sick of fucking seeing events, and we're going to start doing events on our own, and we're going to take them real.
That's what always happens.
That's why it all started, and that's how it's going to go. Because I'm fucking done playing K games. Because it's retarded, and it's not the guys that are in the events; it's the people running them. It's high times that are like stuck in their own asses. I don't get their fucking deal, but it's done. It's fucking done. It ain't about fucking prestige and glam fag shit. It's about fucking flowers, goddammit.
I mean, the problem is that when a lot of these events have turned into like more like a concert than a weed event, and then that's where the crowd doesn't really give a fuck about the weed as much, and then you start to see that kind of slip. And High Times, the problem, their biggest problem, I think, is just the fact that they tried to do too many cups, too many places, too fast, and it kind of just lost its. It used to be once a year, and that was actually really cool because it was like, okay, you had a whole year to kind of think about it, plan your shit. Right. Now it's like once a month or every other month, basically.
Yep.
And you're like running around with the fuck. You could never, as a company, afford to do every cup. It'd be too much. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah. So
and you wouldn't even want to or need to, and they're in the places are either diverse or just not worth going to. Who the fuck wants to go to some remote stupid place? If I'm want to go somewhere, like one of the ideas for our events is for the Masters Cups. They are based literally on the varieties. The first Masters Cup is the Indica, and is the Indica Masters, and it literally starts in November because by the end of that time, you should have your Indica done. Because the Indica is only a 38 to a 60-day variety, and if it isn't, it ain't no fucking Indica, and they can't get in the competition. And we're actually going to hold that event where? At the northern climate, because that's what we're talking about, Indicas. So let's go to the climate and feel where we're at. So we're not only going to have the event in the place and the Indicas that represent what the fucking whole thing's about, it's not stopping there. The second one are the Mix Masters, and that's going to happen in December, and that gives you enough time to get your mixed varieties done. Why? Because mixed are, let me see what days I put on. I've got this all on paper, dude. You guys are like, yeah, cool, but I mean, literally, it's happening. It's happening. Done. Okay, check it out. Indicas, this is the deal. Division. Indica division is 75% Indica dominant, 38 to 60 days minimum. Mixed are 50-50s or 40-60s. They can be 50 to 70, 55 days to 70 days. Sativas are 75 cents sat down, 70 days plus. You can put super sats in, whatever you want. If they're a year and a half, fucking hey, better sativa, longer the better. Shootouts. The way you go about it is both the contestants have 2 to 3 buds in front of them. They smoke them. They don't know which is which. They just decide together which one wins out of those buds.
That sounds real familiar.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, and actually, Adam, it's funny because I even have written down here, they will get a card. That's why I called you, because I messaged you an email because I'm like, you got to help me with this because it's so complex, but it's cooler than shit. Because when we get done, this thing, like one of the events is like going to fucking medieval town, dude. You're going back to the medieval time.
Oh, yeah, you should do it. If we could find a cool medieval restaurant that would let us smoke, that'd be dope.
Medieval times.
Will they let you,
those places that you can go and joust at?
Yeah. Well, if you could find a guy,
dude, that's what we need is one of those castle places that have the jousting field and everything.
Telling you about it.
Okay, and that's just for this event. And guess what? What we're calling the Grand Pot Bars, like the Grand Poobahs, but the Pot Bars, are literally the people that we're forcing to be the judges and to run how it all works, or if there needs to be a change, they're going to be the ones that make it happen. I'm making Jim Ferrer, Wolf Siegel, Lawrence Cherniak, or Lawrence Cherniak.
Lawrence Cherniak already has his suit figured out. He already has his little suit figured out because wears that. He always wears that kind of wacky Himalayan.
Exactly. And I've already talked to him about it, and all he was like is like, can I talk about stuff? And I'm like, you bet you will. This is like, you bet. It's going to be like, people got to know who these people are.
That's like you not talking. That's like you not talking.
Right, but like Lawrence, Cherniak, dude, he was before Neville. Okay, help me out. Okay, there was somebody fucking before Neville. But anyway.
But he wasn't breeding. He wasn't really breeding anything, right? He was just taking photos.
Okay, so anyway, that's which one were we talking about? Okay, that was what I'm calling the Old Pros Open, and we're going to have that in Denver and Colorado in September. And anybody answer that. That is 40 and up, 20 years experience minimum under your belt. It'll be judged by the Grand Papas, Jim, Wolf, John, Old Sog, Lawrence DJ Short, Adam Dunn, Sonny Cuba, and possibly myself. Those will be the judges. The awards for that one will actually be a Holy Sacred Grail. There's no more cups.
Oh my God! So you've cupped the
dude,
world.
I'm not fucking, dude.
You cuppeth the world. You cuppeth the world.
You guys left me alone for 2 weeks to getting high by myself, and guess what I did? I got creative.
This is what happens. So, like I said, you had cup fever. You're like. So, what I was trying to tell you about, but you don't know who he is, but some of our listeners do. Anybody who's probably been in Amsterdam back in the 90s or early 2000s probably knew this guy, but Eagle Bill is a guy that I knew and a lot of people knew from Amsterdam who was like literally similar situation, except it wasn't cup fever. He had vapor fever, right? Because we showed him how to we showed him how to vaporize, and the guy, like, I saw it. I saw his eyes light up, and he was like, I told him it's the essence of the weed, right? And then that was it. For the next 20 years, every time I'd see him, he'd be vaping somebody with this big giant ball thing, and he'd an old heat gun or whatever. And I'd be like talking to some girl from like Germany or something. And be like, it's the essence of the weed, right? It was fun to watch. So I'm sure what's going to happen is in 10 years from now, I'm going to see you somewhere doing a cup, and you're going to be doing one of your cups, and I'm going to walk up to you, and I'm going to hear you do the exact same spiel that you do on the show, and it's going to be like, he's locked. I'm going to be like, he's going to be like, dude, it's like head-to-head joust, bro, with weed. I'm telling you, and I'll be like, yes. See, it just never stopped.
Okay, do you want to call it a shootout? I've been trying to figure. I figured the medieval thing was new.
I like the medieval.
So I don't want to
fucking. I like them. I think if you can get a medieval place to let everyone smoke and do dabs, it'd be awesome. I mean, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Because it's
it
like
doesn't even matter because like they don't give a fuck. The one we're not getting to do that I told you about that I really want to do with the 710 stuff, because that one's going to start on the 4th of July, fucking Independence Day. The competition will be 6th, 7th, and 8th, and then the awards on the 10th. That's 2 competitions in one. I told you it's going to be a solvent competition in one half, and the other's going to be pure. It's going to be fucking rosins and resin and bubble hash and pure. The other side's going to be solvent.
Well, you know, you only got 3 months for that one, so you better hurry the fuck up, because that comes up quick. This is the worst month. May, June. You don't even have.
We're not doing that.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you told me. You told me you had something going, so I dumped it. I did, but it's still the idea, because I've been to the 710 cups, and they're okay, but they're not real organized. But they're all right. They're better than the cannabis cups, honhonestly.
Well,
I thought the 710 cups were more put together.
It's a little fresher crap.
Sort of good and fucked up, you know.
What you need at those things, the problem with those events is that there's not enough tables, or everybody's got too much shit. They're like, I gotta fucking pull out my $30,000 rig, on a windy day or something. You know, there's been some. There was one 710 cup, one of the first ones that happened here, and it was when Hitman and Grassroots actually were working together still before they kind of broke up. And they had it at the spot, and everybody was setting up in the morning, and like a fucking mini tornado came through there, literally, and just tore the place up.
There.
You were there.
Wait a minute. You're talking when it flooded, and all the cars were parked down in that little gully next to the shop, and all the cars were flooded.
Yeah.
We were there that year.
Oh, there you go. So you saw that. It was crazy. Like all glass was flying and tables were whipping. And
dude, we had to hide in our. It was like a 2 or 4 hour fucking typhoon. I'm in the Midwest, and we're in Tornado Alley, and I had never seen no weird shit like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in the 75 tornado F5 that took out half of this fucking town I'm in, but. That weird shit there was some bipolar shit. That's why I don't want to grow in Denver. I don't want to grow in fucking Colorado. That fucking place, I'm already kind of bipolar. I don't need to grow in a bipolar.
You're not bipolar. You're bipolar? No way.
No, I'm not.
Bro.
No, I'm not. It's in my family, but no, I haven't been. That is one thing I'm only... I'm anxiety, depression, and that's it. The other... And that's because I lost my mom and dad. I mean...
Throw some bipolar
I'm the last of my race, man. I'm the last of my family. My youngest son is the last of my name.
Legacy.
I don't
the legacy.
Grandparents, no
He's the
family.
last of the normals.
The only one's alive is my sister.
The last of the normals, right? The last of the normals. Is that your official?
Yeah, but it's all right. I impregnated a lot of women. There's a lot of my kids hiding out there. I call them, what do they call those, sleepers? I got sleeper cells, bro, everywhere. It's all good.
Sleeper cells.
All right, so enough about the cup shit, or not even cups anymore. We're changing that. So
changing it.
But that's about it.
Changing the vernacular as we speak. Grails.
Yeah, when we do the whole show,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when we do a show on AV Normal or whatever, we'll get into that. When we do an IRCA show, which is United Cannabis Research and Cultivation Association, all you got to really think about it is
IRCA. That's better. I like
it's
that.
research and cultivation.
Yeah.
Because what really matters in what we're doing? Knowing it and cultivating it. Other than that, the united part is to bring us the fucking together.
Temporarily until we all fight, and then we'll just break up. Because you know.
No, we ain't doing that no more. That we ain't getting no egos allowed, man. We're dropping that right off. But okay, so real quick, I just want to do a shout out list for AV Normal members because I fired some people lately.
Oh,
and,
you're fired. Did you do it?
But I'm going to do this super fast, just to let people kind of know what's happening. I am the founder and owner. Jim Farrell is my mentor, and he is one of my quality control boys.
Watch out for
Sub Dude is my oldest friend and one of my first guys I grew with. He's our marketing guy. TKO is called The Kind One. These are our organics and our build-outs. Brother John, you know Brother John. He's our Colorado boy. He's going to do all our feminizations. He's our outdoor expert.
You didn't fire him.
One of my best...
You couldn't fire John.
Brother John. Me and John are blood, bro.
Okay, good.
You know how that goes.
Hope you're not firing your brothers now. That would be
the
bad.
only thing that fucks with me on that is he's real close to Tony, and he still really cares for him, and I do too, but honestly, Tony fucking manipulated him, and I don't like the whole fact about it. Matter of fact, Tony had John sleeping out in the fucking greenhouse, freezing his fucking ass off, while Tony was fucking some other shit and neglecting his wife. But let's not talk about that. Anyway.
Jeez.
So,
all right, slow down over here.
Okay, now Luna was my wife, and she is no longer with us. Dandelion was my helper.
You fired her. That's
okay, Alaska is our CBD expert. Judy Jetson is my daughter. She is a sales rep for us. Tam the Ham is my son. You met him. He pressed Ham. He stuck his ass up in my face, so we call him Tam the Ham now. He's our support staff. Blue 5 AG3 XD19 is my son, and he's a PC tech for us. Kaya is one of my old bros, and we work for the Triple Proof Moonshine. Tone also was the third person in the Triple Proof Moonshine work back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Okay, now, real quick. Bannon, security quality control. Boo's my boy. He's a genetics explorer quality control. Non-Brones, he's my Ecuador grower. I have a guy that grows my varieties at 0 latitude in both high and low winds, so we get tested proper. Here's my R&D guy. I actually got his number. He called me yesterday and invited us down. Old Sog, he's my admin for anything that we do on the web, and that is the original Old Sog, as in Old Sog Super Ship.
I was going to say, I know.
Sweet Peak, which is the best Sweet Peak grapefruit fucking cream cheese haze on the planet, in my opinion. Real quick, we're almost done. Fred Elgato, old friend. You might even know he's an independent. Be Faithful is the one that gave me the original Mizar Archery from the fish. He's the oldest guy I know. He's brilliant. He's a little crazy. I won't even let him near people because he's a little too nuts. He's too smart. The plant he gave me was over 32 years old, and that is the Mizar Archery from the fish that I offer to anybody. He has given me permission to use it. He knows that I got the cover of Scuff magazine for January of 2014. It also got the hot milk of that month. Okay, finishing up. Rocha is our music guy and quality control. Led Zeppler is our LED specialist and independent. The Flying Hawaiian is our Hawaiian brother. Scrappy, one of the coolest fuckers ever, and he disappeared just like me about 5 years ago, and I just got in touch with him. He's one of the best what I call a clone war god. That's what I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And then Turd Ferguson. Turd Ferguson helps us build stuff, and that's it. That's all the members of AV Normal. Beside Adam Dunn, which is an independent partner, so he will, if he wants a badge or a lanyard, I think I gave him one, but it's up to whether he wants. I wear his shirts. I like his shirts because it's got a little stash pocket, so I can put dirty little things in it.
Well, thank you for that.
So,
you got everybody on there? Did you get everybody in? Did you manage?
Yeah, we're done. I'm going to do another bomb hit, and then I'm going to do the list for IRCA real quick, and then we'll be all finished. So you guys talk about some or ask any questions.
All right, are we allowed to talk right now? Are we allowed to talk? Okay.
Yeah, and not only that, Adam, cool. I want you to talk about what happened in Amsterdam a little bit.
Don't throw
Okay, and what I want you to really talk about... No, actually, let's not. Fuck that. All right, Adam, fucking what is the best pot you've ever smoked? Actually, all three of you guys. What's the best weed the best shit you've ever hit that just was like, if you could have it and get it, what would it be? Like, not forever, just like that was the strongest, best pot I've ever had. What was it? I'm just curious.
Yeah, okay, well, thank you. Come on,
I
go do your bong hit. Go do your bong hit. Go do your bong hit.
I can tell you mine right now was Williams Wonder. It didn't last long, but it hit me so hard and fast. But still this day, it's still the strongest I've ever had. And actually, in my hometown, there's a 20-year-old cat here
that how you treat your weed?
And no one can get it. But go ahead.
All right. Slow down, everybody. Yeah, we were...
Real good.
Why'd that one get a brown
Now,
jar?
if it was that good a pot, you should remember.
This is high times quality. Are you doing your bong hit right now? Because we can do our reverse shout out combos in a second too.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, I'm doing my bong hit right now.
Justin.
What?
Big fast.
No,
come on. No, come on now. This is not how we treat
Where are those guys going?
Huh? What guys? Nobody's going anywhere.
Wow.
I'm surprised that they...
oh, no, I must be behind you. I kind of got you on the show, but I got to turn down, so I'm just watching. Dude, right now, like, you guys are sniffing jars, so it's probably 5 minutes behind or something.
Yes, it is.
And the dude in the bear shirt got up and then went under your banner.
Yes, you're behind the times, bro. You're in the past. You're living in the past.
Fucking A, bro. I love it here. Keep me here, please. Okay, I'm bong hitting. I'm out. I'm in the hole.
It's different. Thank you. So, all right, you're doing bong hits. We're looking at samples from the, as we speak, sack cup going on right now. So, hybrid category. Found one interesting one here. Now they stopped throwing them at us, so I don't know what's going on. Before we had an endless stream of cannabis flying at us, but oh my God! Pathetic.
I just now see the trophy sitting there on the table.
Oh, thanks. You pay attention finally. Good job.
Man, that's all I really wanted was a cool piece of crystal.
I know.
It looks cool, man. That's a really nice job, you guys.
Thanks.
I mean, that's a fucking trophy. You know what I mean? Fuck cups. I mean, I respect the whole cup idea and shit, but come on. I mean, look at that fucking thing.
Yeah, it's
hey, it's all his. It's all his. Puff is so excited.
Looks like I could,
Keith,
looks like
Keith's
I could chop some shit up and do a line. I mean, go ahead.
Tie that off on that thing there.
Oh my God.
All right, I hear a lot of people talking about weed over there, but not giving it to us.
Whoa, that's
fucking nuts.
All right, what is going on?
They put up a curtain so we can't see.
Oh my God! Look at
if you could smoke out of that thing, it would be perfect.
You see the camera.
Yeah,
come on,
Look at this weed.
Until you break it all up in front of us.
I know how, can you see it?
Kinda. Not really.
Your hand's in the way.
It's like orange and it's purple and it's white.
Don't misplace the jars.
Don't. Look at that. No.
See, now you guys are online and we're watching you do this.
It doesn't smell.
Now this sucks for us.
I know it
I don't
does.
know if you realize this. It's like you guys are all sniffing. I'm like, wow. You guys, what should be happening is after you sniff it, you should take a bud out, stick it as close to the camera as you can, and let us see what the fuck's going on.
Do you know how much work that is? They're throwing these buds at us.
Dude, this is yeah, a little bit further back, but I can tell that's a beautiful purple something. All I see is orange. Oh my God, that looks good.
Oh yeah, because it's delayed. That's why.
He asked for it. We gave it to him. There you go.
Oh, it already happened.
Yeah, we'd already done that.
I've got it in my hand now.
Yes, we've already done it. Hey, can you guys try to get that thing so it doesn't go in front of the camera all the time? Because that's kind of annoying.
Dude, I can fucking see that now. The cat in the middle holding that purple bud or 5 minutes ago, I can see that thing from here.
Do it to this thing.
You need to fucking teleport that shit over here, Scotty.
All right, get it going.
Dude,
you got it.
This has like green trikes.
There's a lot of interesting. Oh, and I gotta pull my glasses out and get old man like.
I gotta smoke his focus.
All right, you guys keep. I'm gonna start the OCA list real quick and just do it while you guys are fucking eyeballing bud. All OCA is the United Cannabis Research and Cultivation Association. Our head chair is Jim Ferrer. Our second and third is Lawrence Chirniak and Wolf Siegel. If you don't know who those people are, fucking read about them. Okay, I'd like to everybody in
saw
this
Wolf
are independent partners.
I saw
We
Wolf
don't
have an
sell
argument.
Nothing. We're just trying to help people or change the understanding of cannabis. That's all we're trying to do right now. Okay, the people involved are Adam Dunn, a
Yes, sir. Yes.
Lawrence Cherniak, DJ Short, Wolf Siegel, Jim Ferrer, Bubble Man, Brother John, Sonny Chiba, Espion from Hybrids from Hell, Breeder Steve, Jack Lloyd of Green Candy Press, Bodie, Dylan Karalash from Canada, Ginger Dewar, The Woman, Bosie No, our good Dutch buddy, Sportster, Oha Herbie. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, some of these guys you may not have heard for a while, and yet they're in our game, and they are our fucking friends, because they're real people. We got Charis. We got Stash, which Stash I don't know about yet. I haven't talked to him. And Dr. Bush also. We got Lou Shines. We got John Gonzo with 555 Genetics. We got Luna Whitcomb and Adam McCauley, the crazy, the toxic twins. No, they're pretty funny, though. We got Mel from Melvinetics. We got The Rev. We got Oren Soros, who's basically Ron Burgundy. We got Chris Cole. We got Jason Box, Brother Llama Box. We have Adam Jacques. We have Jim Brodsky. We have Brian Keel. We have Mr. Green. We have Laxman Plata. We have Sa, Strength and Honor. Love you, bro. We have Dad Marino. We have Alex, Mr. Swamp Thing, the craziest clone motherfucker on the planet. We got almost done. We got Zorin. We have, I don't know if he knows it, the Uni Grower, just because I love him. We have Incon from Illuminati. We have Old Sog, and I think Rowan Remedy. And I think these guys are all kind of connected to Berka. So that's it.
They're all kind of connected. I thought they were members, active members that are on there every day. No?
Yeah, me.
They've accepted it. They've accepted your existence. They've said, all right, we can deal with this guy. So,
well,
yeah, we're looking.
This is what happened. I formed it actually in 2014. Is I came up with the logo and started offering people, and it actually took this long for it to happen. Because we are all so disconnected, that's why I'm making that change. And it's no biggie. We're still going to all sit at home and do our things. We're just going to enlighten people from a distance and make it happen sooner than later. That's all.
Making things happen. That's what we try to do around here. We're always all out here just trying to make things happen. Well, we're looking through these. We're looking through these SAC things, and I see a lot of beautiful things, but I only smelled a couple things that
I need to be like,
yeah, we're gonna
cracked open.
We're gonna have to get to work.
Not in the wind.
I think we have to. Yeah, exactly. I think we're gonna have to go somewhere quieter and less windy. Terps are getting washed away.
Can't you just leave it in the jar and sniff the gas? There should be at least gassing in the jar. Leave the lid on until just you smoke, you open the lid.
Thanks, Grandpa.
Well, fuck. Come on. That's normal.
Of course it is. It's abnormal. It's abnormal.
Is that abnormal? It is abnormal. Well, come on. The brown bag. You don't fucking cut a plant down and hang it, guys. You cut a plant and hang it, dry it, and then put it in the brown bag. You can still get some gas. It's got off gas, which means air passes through the brown bag, but the gas stays in there like you're ripening a fucking banana, guys. Yay, that's where your terps are coming. If you want them to really happen, ripen it like a banana. Because guess what?
Put a banana
fucking fruit. Hey, it's a banana, and I'm here to say.
And it's a drug. It's a drug fruit. Fruit drugs.
It's a drug fruit that has fiber, oil, seeds. Comes from an alien world, can make you do really stupid things, like whip out your junk and put it in women that you shouldn't.
Whoa, yeah, is that you're blaming it? So what's going on over there? You guys are holding those ransom or something?
The whole business of breeders, I was going to say something because we were talking to the guys in chat about it, and what was his name? James Dean, I think?
Yeah.
Guess what? Okay, I got Breeder C's number on my phone and we talked.
I just want to see what's going on here.
I have the Sweet Tooth. I got the Sweet Tooth number 3, but he's not allowed to use his name or Saul anymore. Okay, because what he does. Steve gave us permission to call the plant that we are going to produce and put out in seed form. Steve's Pink Grapefruit. It's going to be put out as Abnormals SPG. Steve's Pink Grapefruit, and he's going to approve it.
No, they're all different too. You're going to get Ziploc bags.
Oh my God. It's terrible. Yeah.
What happened? Somebody farted? What happened?
No, I'm just commenting on the packaging from this cup is like ridiculous. Like, look at all the different kinds of packaging. and you're supposed to judge things on a
You know what?
basis.
Concentrate more on the weed, right? Yeah, if they're working that much on packaging, they're trying to make a turd look special.
No, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. It's 15
Oh,
kinds.
the turd, the bud's looking phenomenal, and the package looks like 5 cents.
Literally trash can. This is a little mini trash can.
At all.
Yeah.
Well, come on, we're talking about the bud, not the container.
Oh, they all look good.
It's about plants, not people.
Damn, that smells
Right.
really good.
This looks nice.
It smells.
You'd be surprised at some weed. There's some weed that has no trichomes really at all, and you hit it and like, wait a minute, am I still in the same room?
Right.
Never judge a book by its cover, guys. Open it up and stick your tongue in it.
Tongue punch it.
Tongue punch that fart hole. I heard that fucking phrase today, man. I can't forget it. Tongue punch that fart hole.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, there are a lot of purple ones for sure.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of purples.
All right. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to do the big shout-out list.
Oh, my God.
Okay,
I thought we
real
had...
quick, though.
Dude, what have we done? What have we done?
Psych. I told you that was only AB Normal and Urca, but now we're going to talk real people, bro, because I know you know some of them. This ain't about me or you or anything. It's about the real people, man.
Sure.
But real quick, the seedy business of breeders. First, there's not enough info, okay, guys? The breeders aren't showing and talking enough. If we want to fucking buy a plant, let's see it all. No more talk. Let's see some walk, okay? No more hype. If you're on a fucking site and you're looking at a breeder's shit, and there's a bunch of people saying, yeah, it's great, but there's no pictures, that's probably the same guy posting under different names, hyping his own shit. If you don't see different people growing the same plants and talking about the different fucking facets of that, then it's bullshit. Let's start making that happen. Let's start seeing the progressions. Let's see some vegging plants. Let's see them in early bloom. Let's start talking about what you're giving them. Let's start teaching people how to grow what you're fucking doing instead of showing a little picture and then leaving people out to hang and being like, but that's it. I'm done. Sorry. At least as far as that.
That was your big list. There was nothing in that list. Where's your list?
No, that wasn't. That was just a comment, real quick.
Oh, that was a comment. Oh, that was a list. Come on now.
Okay, here goes the list.
Bring the list.
First, I got to really thank you, Adam, because without you, dude, I don't even know if I would have bothered talking to people.
Oh.
Because I just don't like people. I like plants. People have done me wrong forever. I always am that guy. You're that nice guy too. You give, they take. And it wears you out. It wears you thin, and you become a very different person because of it. But I respect you, and I don't care how old you are. As long as you've been fighting for this fucking plant and as much as you've done for it, and you don't even realize how much you've done for it, and that's what I respect, is what you've done for the plants. And the people you know, and the information you're trying to fucking get people to listen to. Because I watch most of your shows, and I just love it, dude. That's hilarious. Especially when they do the shows that you're like by yourself and you're telling your old stories. That's the best shows. I give a shit what's happening nowadays because it's so clusterfuck nowadays. Everybody's like, it's too fast, it's too much techno, it's too digital. Okay, here's the deal. Analog is slow and dirty, guys. Digital is a little sample that's perfect. We need to go back to analog, everybody. Let's stop the solvent shit. Let's forget about, I'm going to really put, when I do have our show, bro, I'm going to really drop some bombs, but I'm going to avoid that for now because it's going to be a different. Okay.
Well, that sounds
real
awesome.
quick, since you guys are
go ahead.
Cool. All right, shout outs real fast, just because I love everybody. To my fucking dad's brother William, to my grandfolks, to my folks that have passed. I love you guys. To the Pankas, who's saved me from going to jail and prison for 50 years. Fucking seeds. Fucking seeds, man. They're going to put me away for 50 fucking years. Seeds, man. Okay, so to Dr. Chong and to Joe Council, the ones that actually fixed me. To my sister, Kelly.
Let's go.
Hold on one second. I got somebody at the door. To Willie Waldman. To Willie Waldman and to Brother Gandalf from the Big O. They know who they are. To some of the brothers that have passed. This is a real hard one. I just want to say these guys I've respected forever, and I think everybody should know more about them. So we got Guru of Kings of Canna, we got Greek Grower, we got Clips, we got Simple, we got, and these are guys that are no longer with us that have done some really incredible things. You know, what about Pacific? What about Vic High, guys? You know, what about Jim Ortega? What about Romulan Joe? You know why they're not around? Because things ain't right. But that's all going to change. Okay, let's keep going on just saying shout-outs. Vic High, you could never... Baram, Fino, and Space Queen, if you don't know what it is, you just don't know what you're missing. DJ Short, Miraculous Meds. DJ Short, I can't never say enough about the fucking man. And Blues. Blues. That's enough. Anyway, I'm kind of starting to cry. Hold on, I'm trying to clear my eyes so I can see my list. All right. Vinny.
Vinny Bob. He was already here.
Adam.
Yes.
I was going to say, is he there? Oh, he's not there?
No, he was here, though. He came with the Viper.
Cameron's here. Cameron's gonna say aloha.
Aloha.
He's feeling much better. We're gonna stick a thing up his butt and squirt all of it out. Okay, I'm gonna keep on
more information than we maybe need.
And the shout out. No problem. Okay, I want to continue. I want to thank Red.
You got 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes. You got a 3-minute countdown. So
I'll make it 1 minute. Ready?
All right, 1 minute.
Red from Legends when he held it up. Pig Farmer. Clarence from IC Mag. Pacific for doing PG-13 and the real fucking work that was done by Groover and Pacific for the Purple GBX3s and all the AG13 work that everybody thinks they knows about. And double thanks for clicks on that. To Big Ricky, to Paso. Everybody knows who I'm talking about, probably not. I'm sure you do. To Clarence for IC. Fuck, help us out, but you can't, we know. Gypsy, it's all good, bro. You beat them. You beat America. They fucking kicked America out of the UK courts and Gypsy won. Fucking A. Ed.
Old Ed?
Nope, a different one. I'm just going to say Ed. Brett Bloom, the lawyer that won my case and set me free for 10 grand, even though it did cost that. He got me done. He did it. Great lawyer. And matter of fact, I had people that actually donated to the cause and helped pay for my fucking lawyer case. So that's these guys. I got to thank for that too. Okay, Big Ricky and Chrome, Piazzo, Black Bar, Murder Rebel, Rushman. That's a weird one to say. And if you guys don't know these names, oh well. I'm sure Adam's going, oh God. Okay, so anyway, Twigs, Brett Bloom. Lupa, what up, headband? Lupa knows what real headband is. The Attitude, it's just the bank. Gypsy, Lemonade, Joe, and Logic, they help keep everybody running. I mean, come on, give them a break. IC, Overgrow. Lep, Cubby, help me out, guys. Fuck, they're the real men. Some other people that have passed. Steve, Rashid, and my old Bill Donnie. Okay, a couple more. HG420, Grass City. Jack Herrera, man. R.I.P., bro. HG420, THC Farmer, Fire Stacks. Facebook, Instagram. Fuck that.
Hurry up.
Fuck that shit. Sorry, almost done. Okay.
You did a shout out to Instagram?
Indian guy.
Jesus Christ.
Indian guy. I don't know if anybody knows who Indian guy is, but he was the most giving some brother out there.
Oh, Indian guy.
Fat. Y'all remember Crazy Fat. That's the Australian crazy fucker. George Chavanis, Kyle Cushman, Beacon, Black Bart, I think I said that twice. Bog. Now, these are companies that actually grow their seeds. I don't know these people. I'm just giving them a shout out because I've grown most of these companies. SOL, DNA, Got Chronic, Best Fashion, THC, Sagar, Sirius, Sensi, SSSC, or the Seed Bank, High Quality Seeds, KC Brains, Federation, Female Seeds, Mandala, Mr. Nice, Nirvana, Soma, Seedsman, Spice Brothers, Brothers Grimm, TGA, White Label, Reeferman, Grimm, Barefoot, Beanie Siegel, King Size Skin, Copite, Captain Crip, what does that say? Crypt Keeper, Llama, already said him, Liquid Kid, Lauren, ME545, Zion, Moggies, NA6, Mr. Good Time, Nocturnal G, Old Hand, Outlaw G. What up, Outlaw G? I know you had that real fucking Urkel, brother. Thank God. Oregon Kid, y'all remember Oregon? Good guy.
Of course.
Organic Herbalist, Organic Alchemist, Purcell, Percival. I'm almost done. Colin Jock, Plants, Tindalinka, Mr. Dank, Budweiser, Joker, Jeffman, Hunters, H.G. Sweetie, Heath Robinson, Heath fucking Robinson. Heath Robinson, Funk Starfish, Frogman, Farrell, Guinea Pig, Old Luck, Pops, Father Jack, Espion, the Podcast, Dr. Lowe, Dog Snob, Flying Hawaiian, oop, got him again, hey bro, Dizzy Up, Cone, Core, Cobra, C2K, Cliffs, I got him again, Buffalo Bob, Bohempian, Bodie, Blake, Canapits, and that's it. Oh, no, we're not done. Rocky Mountain Buds, Quagmire, Big Buddha, Milo, Green Supreme, Quixotic, Ricardo Montalban, Mopple, Anna B, Soil Grow, Mountain Nectar, For You to Smoke, Copperfield, Rosa Riso, Straight Dane, Shane, Copperfield, Fennec, Mr. Alkaline, Elevator Man, Slim Pickens, Sticky Ricky Williams, Silly Breeder, Slow Hand, Patty, Third Eye, Three Eye, Buddha, Bud Toker, Shay, Cobb Kuop, English Rick, Gentleman Farmer, TL Med, Tim, Uberhausen, Wonderkind, Zochi, Vermonster, Out West, Optimism Prime, Giddy, holla at you. I'm almost done, man. I can't even spell this guy's name. Jamaican Nice, JD, Mike. I can't do it. Bandit 77, Dune, Weedy, Lady Glow, right? The token black guy.
See, it's here now. See, it's here now.
I give up. I'm done. You win. Thank you. Bird in the air.
Bird in the air.
I'm done. Yay.
All right. Thank you, man. Thank you. Well, that was a terribly short list. You should definitely pull that one out. Should have that ready.
Literally was 3 pages.
How do we get you to speak at our next event?
What the fuck just happened?
I've got it written down.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
I've got it written down.
You wrote that down?
Of course you wrote that down.
You gotta understand, those people donated seed to me, or I gifted them. Everybody I've ever communicated with, I know and have written down, and I respect and give everybody credit where credit's due.
Well,
fucking do.
At least it's not a list of people that you owe money to, because that'd be bad. Then you'd be fucked. It's like all these guys I owe.
It's only child support. It's only child support. That's why I can't drive. They took my license. Nah, that's because of the felony.
well, thank you, Fo20, for giving us insight into the wacky world of everything in cannabis. It sounds like, and
AB Normal, the wacky world of AB Normal and right. Nick Normal. Yeah, right. Or Fo20. Yeah, my name isn't really Nick Normal, and it's not really Fo20.
No way. No fucking way. All right, man.
Well, hey, you guys use your real names. I'm not that crazy.
Yeah. We'll see you. Talk to you. I'm sure you'll be calling in next week during the beginning of the show, right when I get my first guest on. So we have a call. Yep. Hey, we have a call in. There you go. Boom.
All right, cool.
All right, peace, bro.
And no, I'm staying on because we're going to keep you. I'm going to call you every week ahead for you no matter what.
He's staying on.
You started that.
He's staying on.
When you started saying that to me on the show, like, where's Phil? I know he's going to call. I'm like, that fucker.
Yeah.
And so me and a couple of my son, and we started plotting it out, and he called you as, who were you?
Yeah, well.
Herbert the pervert and shit, and I called you as Yogi.
Yes, I remember. Well, we remember all of this, of course. But anyway, we are at 3 hours though, so we're going to bail right now and get on to our next cup we have to judge. So, talk to you soon.
Word.
Thanks, bro.
See you, dude.
All right. Thank you guys for hanging in there. I told everybody I was going to put you guys through the fire, and guess what?
You did.
You avoided it because we didn't have the whole show, but I got enough out to at least to make me feel good.
You got one more thing to bring in?
I hope it was worth the effort.
I don't know. Yeah, the effort is definitely there, 100%. So, talk to you soon,
cool.
man. Peace. Thanks.
All right, love you guys. Y'all be cool.
All right, bye.
Ciao.
Silence for the boys.
All right, everybody, just take it down. Let's just have a moment of silence here. See what that feels like. Now we know. Yes. So what was the best comment there? I heard those comments were great, but I didn't pull it up. So
many comments.
So many, so good. Yeah. So if you haven't been on the chat room, you should probably go back and look at some of the chat room stuff because I'm going to go back and take a look because apparently.
All right, I got
it was on fire. It was on fire.
We're gonna read some comments here.
Oh yeah, you can read a few.
We're gonna read some comments.
Read the best. Only the best though.
Right.
Nothing mean. Nothing. We don't want the mean comments. I'm not really interested.
Well, James Bean wants to buy his weed.
Of course.
He said, he got mad because no shout out for Seed Here Now. So.
Well, of course there was a shout out for Seeds Here Now. What's he talking
shout
about?
Shout out to the village people.
Of course there was. That's how we end it all our. That's how we always end our fucking.
Mr. Soul didn't get mentioned.
What?
Yep.
And maybe he has issues. Doesn't like nail polish. Doesn't like nail polish. Guys.
I heard Brothers Grimm. I thought
A lot of people were dying.
Shout out to the guy on Saxon Baker Street.
Shout out to the guy on Saxon Baker Street.
Yes.
Okay.
G13 baby.
G13's good.
Oh shit.
Brah, brah.
What's that? Windex? Little Windex is in there. All right.
Grandma's favorite rapper.
Well, anyway, we're gonna do our final shout outs. You guys do your.
Okay, shit in hell. He's shouting out the phone book. Props to Romulan Joe. Props to Vic High for creating Subcool for keeping it alive.
What's the best? So now School of Hard Nugs is it offline or is it online?
Dude is obsessed. Dude is obsessed with ass.
All right, now you're the him now, so shut the fuck up.
So we're still online. We have our website. We're actually working on moving all our videos over there. All our stuff's up on Vimeo, and we're putting it on S3. Basically, going to self-host
Vimeo. You're going back to our old fucking.
Well, it's just there. We're paying them, so hopefully they don't take our shit off.
Got you.
But we're putting everything on like self-hosted, moving it all to the website. We're getting a new website, redesigning all that, and gonna make that cool. And I'll start putting some shit on WeedTube, I'm sure.
Nice.
Got to check it out.
Sounds good. Sure. And then you got a nutrient line that you want to keep a little hyped up to for a sec, since we didn't get to talk to you at all. Since obviously, your name was not on that thing giantly.
No. I've just been working with Justin in the School of Hard Nugs on that for years, and I think obviously it goes together well.
Yeah, for sure. So like, basically, I've been testing it for a long time.
Is it available? Is it available everywhere? Or?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everywhere, but like
off of my website, UncleWiggies.com.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty chill. There's there's like an organic base, crypto bio, and there's like veg and bloom, and it's like thick syrupy shit. And
nice.
Shit's solid, and then just 2 parts, super easy. CalMag. That's like literally all I fed all my shit with for the past 3 years.
Really?
And,
okay. Nice.
Help kind of like dial the formula in, and I know a bunch of other growers are using it as well. Like,
and so that was used with the jelly.
Yeah. Dude, all that shit right here. Like everything
all that shit. So that's nice. And so it's you can use it in like a big. Since you said it's all heavy, does it work in like larger systems where it's? Does it have to be mixed a lot or agitated?
No.
What's in there?
No, it's fully soluble biostimulants is the crypto bio. So it works really well in hydro.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Really good like
cocoa.
Microbe food.
Well, we got handed this, so maybe if you guys want to help me a little bit, chisel through a little bit of this while we break down the show.
Love to.
I'm sure we can run through a bunch. It seems amazing. This is all California stuff, and it's a lot of purples, a lot of color, a lot more color. That seems, and I'm sure that's all cookie crosses of some sort.
Ice cream cookies.
Yeah, that one. This one.
That was like holy shit.
Yeah,
that one definitely smelled like ice cream.
Ice cream, but like more like the freezer of the ice cream more than the ice cream itself or something. You know what
this
I mean?
one was pretty weird too.
Like
that's pretty fishy, I think.
Like a Carvel or something like that. You know how Carvel smells? You ever been to Carvel? You don't know.
Yeah.
Like that. When you walk into that kind of that spot is what it smells like more like than the actual ice cream.
Yeah, definitely.
Interesting. So yeah, we have a whole other show right here in front of us. Amazing. Let's do it. Got 4 more hours.
4 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for everybody for hanging in there. I want to do a quick shout out for obviously everybody who came to ADSI. For one of our sponsors, Grow Pure, which is Grow Cure, sorry, which is coming out on the market like a ProCure style thing, and it's going to be cheaper, more efficient, and we're going to have them on the show in the next few weeks. We'll get one of the guys on here and break that stuff down for you, and also. obviously Seed's here now. I don't know why I thought he didn't get a shout out. He got plenty of shout outs, but of course Seed's here now for on the 19th, I guess it is. We'll be in Maui with Gray Skull doing his cup that is based basically entirely on the ADSI. When he came to ADSI, he had the exact same fever that Abnormal has. He got home and was like, we can do this, you know. And it's like, again, you're in Hawaii, of course you can do this, you know. Yeah. So he put together a cup, and they had it now for a couple of years, and they invited me last year, and I didn't manage to make it, though. This year I am going to get a chance to go. So if you feel like going, this is a good time to go, bro. It's going to be, it's going to be cool. That'll be fun. And so it's cup fever around here. Everywhere you go, here a cup, there a cup, everywhere a cup. Shout out to my beautiful wife, Cece, and little Nick, who is having so much fun at school now. It's awesome, fun to watch because he's got to go on a camping trip next week. And that's the day that I leave to go to Hawaii. So it's going to be, I was going to take him with me, but it was going to be like $3,000 more to do that all, you know what I mean? Just to bring him and then CC and everything. So I was like, all right, we'll go on our own time when we're not. It's like, okay, now we're here, and Papa's going to go get really high and not hang out and do all the touristy things you're supposed to do. And shout out to Ace Down at the Farm. Shout out to the guys from Waterworks and also from Green Street Concentrates. Also sponsored the ADSI, and keep an eye out for that if you're here in Colorado, Denver area. And we'll see you guys next week. I have no idea what's happening. This week was a smorgasbord of information. Lots to go back and in every angle. It's like we did 5 shows in one.
A lot of shout outs.
And a few shout outs. If you didn't get a shout out today, then you probably don't exist. So and you cannot be watching the show. So hopefully you did get a shout out. And thanks to the chat room for keeping it fucking hilarious as usual. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace. Oh, and we're out of there.
Practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums have their own hidden messages.
We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing. We want you to smoke the natural herb. Some call it marijuana, some call it sensibilia, some call it lamb's bread, and some people call it ganja.